Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the semi-final of the Women's Rugby World Cup. New Zealand versus France. A tough fixture for both of these sides, but the big thing is whoever wins this game, they go on to face England, who had a narrow victory over the Canadians not too long ago. It is myself and it is my mum. You will notice we've got a different background behind us. This will actually be the background of the live stream later on tonight between New Zealand and Wales. Reason being, we are doing two live streams at the same time. Wow. Technology, eh? Gotta love it. And I was like, hey, Mum, nice to see you both, says Paul in there as well. So I guess as a mum, normally mothers are always right, yes?
Yep.
So how many are New Zealand winning by if they win?
By 12.
By 12. All confidence. Okay, fair enough. We will go with that. So looking through the starting lineup for New Zealand, they've got a few changes compared to what they had last week. They've got Hirini at number 7. Makali 2 is going to be slotting in at number 8. Portia Woman back out on the wing. That is on the left wing side. Teresa Fitzpatrick and Flula be in the midfield. Ruby Tui and then Renee Holmes as the 14 and 15. Then for France, they have got a strong lineup for this matchup, and they can certainly not be underestimated. They're looking passionate out there, the French, and they'll be looking to cause an upset. They want a rematch of a Women's Six Nations fixture. Do you think they can do it, though?
No.
And where do you think they'll be able to do it if they did it? Do you think it's in the breakdown that the French will be able to get that little advantage, or the defensive side of things?
Well, to be honest, I haven't watched the French play, so...
Good answer. And people in New Zealand, and I, Hamish and Donna, says Marco Vanapola, welcome in, mate. Do let us know if the audio is okay as well. I should mention, completely different setup. We've got a different microphone, different webcam, different background, different computer. And now the New Zealand is about to do the haka. Then we will be underway for this exciting matchup. But Ruby too, is she angry?
Focused.
Focused?
Yep.
Red head as well. At the moment for this World Cup, she decided she'd mix it up a little bit, similar to what we saw for Dalton Papali'i. Read my last message, please. One moment. We'll have to scroll back up. I think it was about eating Weet-Bix, though, wasn't it? Not really to do with the matchup. Just eating 4 dry Weet-Bix with butter on watching your stream. I asked Sanitarium if I can get free Weet-Bix. I got a $10 voucher. It expires 2 days after my birthday, says Max. And there's until he is very focused there to win, and the sound is clear, says Leanne.
Cool.
And there's somewhere that isn't clear sound. Can you hear the haka?
Yeah.
Okay, I only hear a little, but that is all right.
Oh, I think you...
Am I through the dodgy one? That's all right, though. I don't mind.
You?
This one, but that's all good.
Oh, no.
I don't need to hear it.
There?
It's all good. You can tell us.
Are
We can have an argument about who has to hear it. We just both won't hear it. How about that? It's actually really weird watching it without sound, though, because they're just like, they're canoeing, but I can't hear them canoeing.
Okay.
No. And also, Canada should have won. They had so many chances to win, and also over there love the curtains, says the Lim report.
Really?
And there as well.
You can have them. Selling now.
Are they? Selling to the highest bidder?
Oh, they will be sold or given away when we get all the windows done. Get new curtains.
I see. The haka has been done for the Black Ferns, and now the match is just about to get underway. Have you got any nerves?
Yep.
Yep. Feeling the pressure. Abby Brown is my cousin, says the New Age. Don't tell George that. One of his favourite English players is Abby Brown. And I was like, my hi has said, he's got an emoji in the chat. And yeah, Canada, a few loose lineouts in England looking vulnerable, says Cooper Cronk. Although I think it's just the fact that it's such a big game that maybe it was an off performance from them, because other than that, we haven't really seen too much weakness from England's women's side, have we?
No.
They had a great game up against France, a great game up against Fiji, and a great game up against the other side in their group. Who I can't quite remember off the top of my head. South Africa, in fact, it was. They had a decent game as well, and there will be a bidding war on those curtains, says Paul as well. But looking through at the New Zealand starting lineup, I think definitely this back line is where it's going to be one for the Black Ferns. The front row, Pip Love, Georgia Ponsonby, and Amy Rule. They still have a decent enough performance, I would think. But for me, it's definitely going to be a battle of the backs. France's defence so far throughout the competition has been very good.
Yeah, and they've scored a few points too, haven't they?
Him, the captain, at number 6. Then also they have got Bourdon At number 9, Drun. At number 10, my French pronunciation's probably going to be a little bit rough
No, it
today, I would
sounds
think.
the same as what I'm hearing. So
Does it? I can't hear them, so I hope it's relatively similar.
Jot me up the volume.
Nah, it's all good. No, pretty much what I've got is the background music and the crowd, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
I guess it practices the commentary, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
Now, in charge of this one, Joy Neville, the Irish referee in charge, Sarah Cox on the assistant, Amber from Australia is going to be the other assistant, and then the TMO as well for this contest. Looks like a relatively large crowd at Eden Park, probably a decent enough afternoon for a good game of rugby union as well. I almost said rugby league. 21,000, not a bad size. 20 odd.
Yeah, 20 odd.
Right, France going to be kicking off this match between the Black Ferns and Les Bleus. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Les Bleus.
And we are kicked off for the semi-final of this fixture. Nicely taken by Sarah Hirni above her head there. Hopefully, there we go. The scoreboard is going to be playing the game at this point in time. So straight away, New Zealand winning themselves the penalty. Quick tap taken by, it was Kendra Cox. Said she was in the starting lineup. She has been kind of jockeying between being in the start and coming off the bench. Yeah. Last couple of fixtures, France returning fire with the kick downfield. Nicely taken though by Renee Holmes, who tries to go across. It's gone over the top of Portia Woodman. Can be cleaned up by Stacey Fleuler there in the midfield though.
Bit of nerves.
Mm-hmm. Be a shaky start, I think, for both sides in this matchup. At the end of the day, they've done so well to get through their group stages, and now you've got your big match, which is pretty much you got to make sure you put it together for 80 minutes or else you are going home. Yeah. For New Zealand, not as far to go home as for France.
Oh.
It's another knock on. Now, that is something we saw New Zealand do quite a bit up against Australia in the early stages of the match. Chelsea Bremner just knocking that one down.
Wasn't much of a pass, though.
No.
Just quietly.
Now, France, they will have themselves a scrum. They're normally pretty decent at scrum time in the Six Nations for the women's side of things. Yep. Kevin Rutt, in charge of France. Just a few letters in a row, isn't it? Some of those ones.
Yeah.
Very tricky.
Talk fast enough, no one will know the difference.
Burden going to be feeding this ball into the scrum. It's a nice, easy name. The thing is, we've actually covered a French game, I believe, as well. But the names, they seem to be one of those ones that as you go each week, they change a little bit more. That is going to be a penalty in favour of France this time. From about 35 metres out, might be a little bit out of the kicking distance range for the Kiwis at this stage. And also good work, Kiwi lads. Super, says Trio in there. Appreciate your being here, mate. And the Kiwi Ferns destroyed France 46-0 at the Women's League World Cup. So the Rugby Union side will try to make amends against the Black Ferns. What happened to South Africa Sevens team? They were last year champions, says Ed. I mean, it would be easy to say now that all the other big sides are back, that's why South Africa are struggling. But I think it's just something's not quite gelling for them at the moment out there on the field. Because, you know, they've got all the talent in the world. You've got Selvin Davids. He's certainly been going well. They haven't got Zane Davids, I don't believe, currently, which is a bit of a shame. But, yeah, I think it's just more of the case of the other sides are just improving, and South Africa have found themselves going slightly backwards. And now that they've lost their coach, Neil Powell, it does make it that little bit harder for them as well. But the rolling ball here for France. And support Kiwi lad, says Trio. And there as well, Bourdon waiting for this ball at the back. It's like they're going to keep on marching forward, though, with Sochat. Sounds close to another two words, doesn't it? Saying that she's not a great player. She is a very good player. So she is not Sochat. Now back across to the right-hand side. 10 metres out from the line here for France. They continue to drive phase after phase, starting to put the Kiwis under pressure for their defence. Bourdon once again will go off to the right. Seems like New Zealand are definitely going to be in a battle for this 80 minutes. They do want a chance of being able to win it. Sochat goes back on the outside. Another offload there from France. It's going to be Menager. 5 metres out now. Bourdon goes to the right. Just phase after phase from France. Also, Hirani almost able to get the turnover in the breakdown. Unable to do so, though. That was almost 5 words put together into one. Still 3 metres out from the line for France. They'll be the first side to score. They've decided to use their back line instead. It will be Drulin now going close to the line. Good shot on her by Kendra Coxedge. I believe it was actually Stella Hirni. Also was able to make that low tackle. But France, when they get this close to the line, normally they are very relentless. We're about to see that as well. If they can find another offload, and they have done just that, it's going to be Ferrer now. Good tackles made, though, from the Black Ferns up to 12 phases. Can France break their way through for the first try of the contest? Getting close to the line once again. It will be tackle release. Bodon onto the number 7, falling onto her back. New Zealand keeping on side, though. That is the big thing. You got to make sure that you aren't rushing up too quickly, or else France, they could have the easy 3 if they want it. Short ball inside centre, close to the line there. I believe that was also Malaysia. Big shot on her, driven backwards. 17 phases in a row at the moment for France. Trying it there. Absolute best. That's close. That's going to be held up, though. That is terrific defense from the Black Ferns. In the end, fall was taken just short of the line, dragged over, and I believe it's actually an offside penalty against the Black Ferns. That is a mistake that they certainly didn't want to make. Definitely not after making 17 tackles in a row. And also, are you streaming the Rugby League World Cup later? We are doing the Papua New Guinea versus England game that has taken place at 3:30 a.m. Or I should say, I am doing that game, because my mother and my dad are going to be doing the All Blacks first half, All Blacks versus Wales. It's going to be an exciting one. They will actually be doing the live stream from here while I am doing the other one. I want to say the Kiwi Lad studio. It's just the lounge. You know, it's...
If it was a studio, you wouldn't be living here.
Here you go, eh? My mum, my buddy, I'm wrapped up now. It's unfortunate. I was actually going to sneak over and switch my headphones. That's your headphone, isn't it?
Yep.
Tell you what, if I unplug... Oh, I've got sound. There we go.
Okay.
Carl Tanana saying that France will be very, very happy. Very, very happy, I think was the comment there. And now Druin will be lining it up. Korea points for the Rugby World Cup, sitting on 27. And boy, I'm sweating. Says Paul there. The kick's gone straight over. She's a great tee kicker. Or goal kicker, I guess I should call her. And now the score is going to be 7-0. That's a lie. 3-0 in favour of France. We are just getting the hang of the setup as well, I should mention. So some of this, it might be a bit weird for a start, but I am just getting it all sorted so that for the night's live stream, there we go. That's perfect. Go with that, eh?
That hasn't updated that.
It's all right. It's going to, though.
Is it?
I hope so.
Sure?
Maybe. Renee Holmes kicks it off. Now, France, they have the ball inside of their own 22. This is the first time the Black Ferns have really been in France territory.
Yeah.
They are yet to have the ball while they are there, although great counter-ruck from the Black Ferns almost works out. Fall has fallen onto that one, and she just manages to get it. Now, France, another attack and run. 22 metres out. Now going off to Sochet. Now, I don't know how to say that name without sounding like I'm just insulting her every time she has it. So chat's not how it's said, but so chat might be how I have to say it so that she doesn't get offended.
Jeez, I hope we're fit.
They're working hard at the moment early on here, France. Another offload down on the wing now. It is going to be in the hands of Malaysia. The ball has gone forward, and that is going to work out for the Kiwis. They will now have themselves the scrum feed. Fast tempo for the start of this match, that is for sure. Nice offload on the outside, though.
So where are the rankings?
Rankings?
What are the rankings?
I believe France, last time we played up against France, they beat us twice in a row, I think.
Okay.
Same can be said about England. So
yeah.
That was in the Northern Hemisphere, though, about a year ago.
Yeah, and we've improved a hell of a lot since then.
Also, don't think they had the sevens players for New Zealand throughout it as well. And I was like, hey, Hamish, I don't think you will remember me, but I'm from a bit ago. Hopefully the Black Ferns can make it to the final on home grounds, says Ipris. Hopefully I've said that correctly. Have you changed your name? Because I know a lot of people end up changing their names, and it makes it very tricky to keep up. But if you have kept your same name and same profile picture, we might have half a chance. At AM says, not every day. Cultures, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. The score's not on the board, says Trio. Now it is. They did take a little while to be able to put the points on the board. Yeah. Another penalty for France. Not what New Zealand were after there. This one's going to be too far out to kick, I would think, though.
Yeah.
From 45 metres out, unless they've got a Geordie Barrett in the French side. Who's the French kicker in the 15s who can kick quite far for the men? I think it's Jamanier, is it?
The winger, isn't it?
Maybe.
Is it the winger?
Is it the winger? Oh, no, are you thinking Emiliano Buffelli?
Yeah.
For Argentina.
Ah, okay.
That's a good kick downfield from France there. And also, yeah, my family used this. They keep changing my name a lot. What was your original name? Do let me know, and maybe we'll have a chance. And are they playing at Eden Park? They certainly are. So the last game was also played at Eden Park. Looks like a bit of an injury here for Amy Rule, holding her ear, I think it is. Neck region. New Zealand just having a bit of a huddle. I believe they'll have a drinks break at some stage throughout this matchup. It seems to be the new thing for the URC, so I'm not sure whether or not it's also the new thing for the World Cups and everything. If it's the way going forward, I guess you'll get used to it eventually. But
I have a drinks break when it's not 40 degrees.
That's a good point. Yeah, she seems to be going like this, doesn't she? Just getting her head twisted. They'll just put it back into place and she'll be right. Yeah, it doesn't look too flash because she's keeping her head well and truly upwards, isn't she? And also New Zealand looking tired. It is Jelly Bear, yes. Says not your everyday cultures and hello, Hamish and Mum and fellow athletes. Let's go the Black Ferns, says Joshua. And there as well. And yeah, they'll certainly be hoping to get themselves through to the final to take on the English. That will be an exciting game. I believe 7:30 p.m. tomorrow. No, that's a lie. Sorry, 7:30 p.m. Saturday next week when that game will be taking place. She'll show you. It's going to be throwing in the line out. Nicely taken there at the back by France. And they will look to attack once again using some of those forwards. Forwards drop the ball, though. So it's going to be now a penalty, in fact, to New Zealand. I believe that's for an offside, is it? Accidental offside. Maybe.
Settle it down.
Settle it down. I think my old username used to be, I know Dwubs. Oh, Splash, can't remember what it used to be. I do know Dwubs, though. It's been a little while since we've seen you. I guess if you've had a few name changes since then as well. Because I think you've got a different profile picture as well, don't you? I'm trying to think of what your profile picture used to be. Not too sure. France not happy. She went, angry clap. The worst kind of clap to have. High five. That's the worst kind of clap to have. I thought you were going to pull the fingers at me there. I'll give you a fist bump. You're all right, aren't you? 10.5 minutes through.
I will not comment.
Taken nicely by Chelsea Bremner. I felt really bad for leaving you hanging. So I had to give you a fist bump afterwards. Now Coxedge going across to the left-hand side. Nice spin out of there from Georgia Ponsonby, New Zealand, the furthest down the field that they have attacked as of yet. That was a hospital pass to Stacey Fleuler. Does get hard in the midsection.
Almost looked as though she wanted to bypass it there.
Good tackle made by Vernier there. Now, once again, it will be Pip Love. Tackles hard. And it's going to be great work from France on the breakdown once again. It will this time
They're going to have to watch that.
Escudo del Rio. Escudo. I think. And also, is it the final next weekend? It certainly is. And New Zealand says Ryan in the chat as well. So France now going to have themselves another kick for touch. Normally very good at finding touch, but that kick has missed it. So now attacking opportunity for Renee Holmes. Looks to fend through the gap. Taken down by Philippon. Now kicked in behind New Zealand. It's gone into touch. Is it a 50-22 or is it just a French one? I believe it is a French line out there for the Kiwis. There we go. I think it just depends on whereabouts it is in the adapter. I might actually get the other one out if I can find it. Because I think that one splits them evenly rather than a left and a right.
Okay. Fair enough.
Agatha Souchet now going to be throwing it in. Nicely taken at the front from France by their skipper. Now looking short side. Risky tactic, but it's actually going to work out not too badly for France. Almost driven into touch. They have just been able to hang on to that one until there was the knock on. And New Zealand will once again get themselves another scrum feed. There have been a lot of scrums throughout this matchup. And also we get the Hamish and Mum team super, says Trio there. Yeah, the live stream later on tonight, the All Blacks versus Wales. It will not be myself and my mum. Instead, it will be my mum and my dad. That'll be exciting, won't it?
Half asleep.
That's all right.
I can't remember the last time I got up at that hour to watch a game of rugby. When I was probably a teenager. And even then I fell asleep.
13 minutes through this game, though. It's been going, would you say it's been going slow or quick? I'd say it's been going slow.
Slow, yeah.
I think that's because of all the scrum resets we have had.
You're tired now, yawn.
Kendra Coxedge about to feed the ball in. New Zealand, though, we're going to have another scrum reset here. Oh, this is a fun accent from the Irish official, isn't it? You need to hold your weight. That was a terrible Irish accent.
That was. It was shocking.
You've been to Ireland, haven't you?
No.
Haven't you?
No.
Have you not?
No.
During your Europe tour?
No.
You missed Ireland?
Yeah.
Huh.
Went to Cardiff for the day.
Ah.
For the day.
Sound quite bitter about that.
Well, I should have gone to a lot more places, I feel. But I was working.
Penalty to New Zealand. Okay.
Should have made the most of it. Put it on.
Down in the front row for France. Yeah, have you been to France?
Yep.
Oui.
Oui.
Did you go to the Eiffel Tower?
Yep.
Oh, okay. There you go. And what is France ranked? I believe they're in the top 4 for international sides. Couldn't tell you their exact ranking, though, but after their Six Nations campaign, they didn't do too badly at all. So, yeah, I'd say they're right up there. For me, the top 4 sides at the moment, probably New Zealand, France, England. I mean, I could say Canada because they were in the semi-final, but I'd probably go with, Australia is still up there as well, aren't they? As a decent side. And the women's side of things, line-outs, though, New Zealand, they have scored 14 tries so far throughout this Rugby Women's World Cup off the line-out. Are you looking for it again here for New Zealand start to get the rolling ball going? Georgia Ponsonby throws it in straight. Why does she look so happy? I think she's just laughing in the rolling ball. I guess she was happy it was going forward, but they haven't been able to score it yet, New Zealand. Now, going back across to Amy Rule. Big shot on her. 5 meters out from the line now. New Zealand starting to look a little bit more relentless on attack. Close to the line for Chelsea Bremner, but dragged down just a couple meters short.
Yes.
McEley too.
Oh,
she's over the line. Is she held up? They're going to have to check this one. That was the last time I was on here. I think it was the Aussie versus England in the Ashes. Gee, so almost a year in that regard, yeah. All right, looks like they have gone with the goal line drop out there. Adjust it again. 15 and a half minutes through top 4. I just looked. It goes England. Yep.
Okay.
Building suspense. He's doing it like a game show.
And
also, you're a Kiwi, right? How do you keep a straight face reporting this and stay neutral? Says R45. I certainly am from New Zealand. As you can tell, my mum, I guess
I'm not neutral.
She's not as trained in the being impartial as myself. I think it's just from doing so many live streams. We've done over 1,000 matches of rugby over the last 2 years. So because of that, you get used to having games that you're calling that teams aren't actually from the country you're watching from. Just looked, England, New Zealand, Canada, France. Oh, okay, so they are actually the 4. And what were they checking? They were just saying whether or not McEley too was able to get it down, but they did decide pretty quickly that it was held up, and instead the goal line dropout went the way of France. That is going to be another mistake from New Zealand with the handling side of things, and that will now be a scrum for France again. A lot of scrums, even though I think it's relatively dry at Eden Park. Are you doing the All Blacks versus Wales in the morning? We certainly will be, although there's a little bit of a reshuffle, I guess you could say, for that one. Pretty much what will be happening is at 3:30 a.m. myself, I will be doing Papua New Guinea versus England for the Rugby League World Cup. And what will be happening at about 4:10 a.m. New Zealand time is my mum and dad will be starting up their live stream for New Zealand versus Wales. So they will be covering the first half. Then from there, I will be joining them for the second. Depending on how the results going, will be determining whether I'm doing it by myself or whether they will be sticking around to see who wins in the second half. But that is the plan at this stage. A little bit of an overlap, but I believe we're going to be able to make it work.
Sorry, I'm just saying.
That's all right. And also, girls a bit flat, says Obi. I think both sides are a little bit at the moment.
Yeah.
France have not conceded a point in the first 20 minutes at the Rugby World Cup 2021. That's a huge stat.
It is, isn't it?
So in none of their games, they have had points scored against them. So that's 60 minutes worth of tryless or pointless attack from their opposition. Almost a full length of a match. And he's a live stream busy says Trio. There certainly is plenty up in the future. After that game as well, I should mention, or before that game, we've got about 3 more games of the Hong Kong Sevens that I will be covering. Then alongside that, after the match between Papua New Guinea and England and All Blacks versus Wales, I will also be doing Ireland versus South Africa, followed by France versus Australia. And then I get about a 3 or 4 hours sleep. Then we're back into the Sevens again.
I'm just getting tired listening to it.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot on in the next kind of 48 hours or so with all the sport happening around the world. I should also, while we are at it, I will quickly check to see what's happening in the Sevens. Looks like Canada.
The rugby, the cricket hasn't started yet either.
No, not quite. Sri Lanka, England. That's a big game, isn't it?
It is. Isn't it?
In it, though.
Isn't it, though?
$50 on New Zealand at minus 6.5 for the win. Come on. Says it was Kapu. Hopefully I've said that correctly. And also we have got the Wallabies versus France. Be a goodie to watch. Yeah, it's going to be a nice early morning start here in New Zealand at 9. That one will be taking place.
Actually, you can't pick that up in there, can you?
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah. That was all right. It's scrum time. France not breaking any rules. That was a pass that no one was expecting.
Yeah, I think they're being a wee bit too, I don't know.
Fiddly,
yeah.
I don't know whether that's the word you were actually after,
Well,
but they are being very fiddly with it, aren't they?
They are.
Seems like they are trying to find those gaps in the French defence by rushing and offloading, but France's structure in the defensive line just doesn't seem like it's going to actually let them through. And also we have got there, why don't you show the actual game? Pretty much it is down to the licensing and copyright. Pretty much to show any game, we would have had to spend a lot of money on licensing or else we can get sued. Copyright struck off YouTube for 3 months. And yeah, it pretty much means that we wouldn't have a job for 3 months. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? You'd still let me live here, wouldn't you? If I was unemployed.
Maybe.
Maybe. I'll take maybe.
Oh, don't do that.
It's going to be slapped in the touch by New Zealand. And at French number 9 is Fire. Says Obi and hey, love what you do. But can you give us a play-by-play commentary, please? Says G. And there as well. We will try our best. Normally we do something similar, but also a bit of chat thrown in there as well. At the moment, you haven't really missed much. It's just been the ball into touch, knock on, ball into touch, knock on, ball into touch, knock on. The stage of the match, isn't it?
Pretty much, yes.
Not really too much attack happening as of late. And also we have got their Samoa, the real deal in the Sevens. They beat Australia now after beating New Zealand. Says Chris there. And also we have got their Samoa, the real deal. They beat Australia. They certainly did in the final moment of the game, able to get themselves a great try by Pilo Maliko to go in for his second of the match. And get Samoa the win thrown in over the top of the line out. It's going to be claimed by France, though. Once again, it will be Ruin. Tries to make her way forward. And also we've got their France making the Black Fern look clueless. And there, yeah, you'd have to say France so far, their attack has looked, I guess, a little bit more structured, almost stolen by Ruby Tui, unable to get the turnover, though. And France now on the halfway line will have some more of the attack. Just DM Elon Musk. I mean, I don't know whether or not he would reply. I don't even know if the man likes rugby. It'd be a question to ask, though, I guess. Renee Holmes kicking it back downfield, looking for it's gone out on the full. Geez. And that's now going to be going right back to the 22 where New Zealand kicked it from. There's going to be a lot of pressure now on the Black Ferns from this part of the field. Renee Holmes just getting that one slightly wrong, straight out into touch on the full. 20 minutes into the game and still only 0 and 3 points on the board. But the reason I mentioned that 0 is because now 20 minutes have gone and in every game for France, they are yet to concede a point in the first 20 minutes.
That's impressive, isn't it?
Now going to be thrown in by Agathe Societ. Takes it nicely. And I say South Africa, you must like rugby. Says Obi, and can't believe how close Canada came to beating England today. Hopefully the Black Ferns can go back to back. And also we have got there a little bit earlier on about, the Samoans winning that game up against the Australians. But it helps out the Kiwis a little bit, I should mention. Is that going to be? No, she doesn't take the mark. Portia Woodman now trying to drive forward. Penalty advantage. Gracias does nicely. Okay, so that is going to be going back for another penalty in favour of the French. And that was actually against Ruz that time. Did give away the penalty. I should mention currently at halftime in the Sevens, Canada find themselves 14 points to 7 up over the Kenyans. No matter what, neither of those sides can actually make it through to the quarterfinals, but still going to be an interesting one to see exactly who manages to get themselves over the line. But yeah, I think Ruiz, she took a good boot to the mush there, didn't she? Probably hurt a bit. Now, once again, Agathe Sochat. It's such a hard name to say, isn't it?
Yeah, what do? Hooker throws in.
The French hooker. Now, going to be going for it 10 metres out from the line. Going for it's probably not the best way of describing it either, to be fair.
No. Screwed, eh?
There was something I could have said there, but I held back.
You did well.
5 metres out from the line now. France, once again attacking Bourdon. Goes off to the right-hand side. Now, New Zealand, they haven't conceded a try as of yet, but I feel like one could be very close for France here. They're only 1 metre short of the line. Now, looking off to the side. They will be going to the right. And now the big try from France. That will be the opening try of the fixture. And France have been able to do it.
Early days.
And I was already there 10-0 and hi, g'day. Hi, Donna, and g'day, Hamish.
Yeah.
Welcome in.
A bit quick with the 10-0.
Did it end up coming up on the scoreboard before we saw it?
No.
Did Scroll beat us to it?
Yeah.
He was just trying to soften the blow for you.
No.
Great try, though, from France. Breaking through. Believe it was... Who was it who scored it? Was it the number 7 or 8?
They said number 8. But...
Okay. So that would have been Menagier, I believe. And also, whether your scores is ahead, says Obi. And there as well. But now the kick is going to be going over from Caroline Dreen, I would think. 72% accuracy so far throughout the Women's Rugby World Cup. And New Zealand, come on, says Ryan. And OMG says Ryan as well. That kick has gone over, keeping her 100% kicking rate. And also, no, it was on the scoreboard a good 20 seconds before you called the try, says G. And there's us. So I guess the scoreboard is mastering the play-by-play better than us at the moment.
How's it going, David?
So what you can do, if it is too quick, you can just move that up there like that.
Yeah.
And then from there, just update every once in a while. I'm teaching my mum on the fly because they will be doing a solo live stream. Ladies and gentlemen, my mum and my dad for All Blacks versus Wales. It's not exactly a small game to throw you in the deep end, is it?
No, it's not. Could have given us a biggest
matchups around.
You know, some minnow teams like Australia versus Scotland. So.
You could do Fiji versus Scotland if you like.
What time's that?
2 a.m.
No.
I never thought rugby makes you go broke. Says it was there. Would you like me to call you by your old username or this new one as well? Do let me know what rugby matches you're going to stream. Says Ed, we have still got the 3 matches of the 7s. Then we have got the Rugby League World Cup between Papua New Guinea and England, All Blacks versus Wales, Ireland versus South Africa, and France versus Australia, followed by more 7s. Then also England versus Argentina, Samoa versus Tonga. And then also after that, I believe I get to sleep for a few hours. Then I head to work. I think that's all of them. Mm-hmm. Had to list them quite quickly because there is quite the list to go through. Renee Holmes now going back across into the midfield. Now New Zealand looking to attack. They haven't really had too many opportunities to get it out wide to Portia Woodman or Tui, while both sitting out on the wing, waiting patiently for the chance. Georgia Ponsonby goes round the side of the breakdown for Kendra Coxedge. And also Red Bull sponsored, and BF needs to score soon. So that is the Black Ferns. Of course, I should mention it. Well, Donna, where are you streaming from? I'm well, Donna. Sorry, I should say. From David, we are actually in the dining room at the moment. So this will be where Mum and Dad are streaming the All Blacks game from. And then I will be a wall over on that side doing the Papua New Guinea versus England game. Exciting scenes. That's gone out on the fall from France. 25 minutes in now. New Zealand will have themselves another attack. French team is a great team in New Zealand. Our team should give penalty, says Amli there. And also we have got there go Australia, says G. And also we have got there Hi Hamish and the mum, says Brandon. And no go the Black Ferns, says Bajo. It's going to be an interesting second half.
That is, yeah.
The Black Ferns.
I feel Wayne Smith is going to G up the girls.
I'd hope so.
Yes.
Because that's the thing. Up against Australia, they were down early, but then they fought back and actually got the win by about 25 points.
Yeah.
In the end. That one's going to be a wonky throw, though, by Georgia Ponsonby, and it's claimed by France. Kicking it in behind. The box kick down to the halfway line. Nice take from Portia Woodman. She's tackled well by the French number 14, though. Now going back across to the right. Big run forward from Amy Rule. New Zealand, if they can score before the end of this first half, they are still well and truly within this contest. Now Renee Holmes goes off to Stacey Flula. Ball on the outside to Ruby Tui, who ducks under the challenge of the left winger, which is Menagier. Well, I don't think that's how they say it, though.
No, she's injured.
She hurt herself?
Yeah.
Who is Tui's injured?
Tui's injured.
She's slamming the ground. She not too happy there. My back, my spine, ow, it's sore, I think is the comment there.
Yeah. Yeah,
I see that's just a dangerous tackle, is the comment from the Ada Sheffery.
She whacked her on.
Dangerous tackle.
Very dangerous.
Very tackle. And also New Zealand versus Fiji quarterfinal, says Ed, we probably won't be covering that one because we are going to be doing the matchup between not England, France and Australia at that time. Oh, geez, that's a good spine buster, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what it was.
But the thing is, she doesn't...
Oh.
I don't know if she tips her completely above the horizontal. So it might just be a penalty against France here. With the way that the law book is written. Also, we got the red says scroll.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, at most, it's probably a yellow.
Yeah, that's...
Like, because she doesn't land on her neck or her shoulder. And that's normally what they rule as a little bit more serious. So even though it was a very strong physical challenge, I think it's probably only going to be a penalty or a yellow at most. And also, Hamish do all night. I do indeed. And also, we did have a little bit earlier on about the job. Pretty much, I am working with my dad throughout the week. Okay, I cannot hear the commentator or the referee, but it's going to be just the penalty to New Zealand.
They said she has the responsibility of bringing her down safely.
And also, French girls doing the basics, gaining territory and possession. There, but Ruby Tui, they are just showing the fact that she's got 100% tackling in this game. Interesting stat. And also, we have got there, if that was a men's, or the men's at red, says Chris here, no, same ruling. Pretty much the thing that I described is the way that they look at it for the law book. Pretty much, because she didn't land on her shoulders, her neck, or her head, because of that, the mitigation goes down a bit more. Because the legs weren't tipped above the horizontal, that also drops it a little bit more in mitigation. And then from there, it just becomes the penalty. So I feel like that's the right decision. Even though, of course, for the Black Ferns, you would have liked to see a player taken off.
As she explained, they've got the responsibility of bringing her down properly. Sort of thing.
Georgia Ponsonby, nicely taken there at the front, I believe. That was from Ruiz. Good afternoon, Donna. Let's go, boss. In there from Nate, and also Black Ferns got a score from here. And where are they playing? They are at Eden Park for this fixture. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see exactly whether or not New Zealand can get themselves another home victory, because next week's game's also at Eden Park. So a France versus England final at Eden Park would feel a bit strange, wouldn't it?
Oh, it's huge.
And also, do you or mum follow NRL? I do follow it a little bit. You probably not so much.
No, well, I used to, but it's just past my Betty Boys time.
Does not look good for New Zealand, says DeAndre there. Or Deidre, hopefully I've said that correctly. And also, we have got the hi from James Gaming a little bit earlier on. Hope you're doing well. No red card. They won't give it to a player in the semis. Deidre. Is that how you say it? What did I say? Deidre.
No, sort of.
Mix and match. And come on, girls, get a try now. And do they have different rules for dangerous tackles for women? Not really. No, I think it's all the same rule book that they do follow, or the law book. I know people get annoyed when you call it a rule book because they're not rules, they're laws. It's like, I normally look at it as a law is something that you go to jail for. A rule is something you shouldn't do, but they do it. That's my reasoning behind it. And a woman immune to getting concussions. I know a woman who have had severe head trauma and concussions. They still get concussions. And also, that would have been a red card. It was a man clearly over the horizontal, says the Lim report. But you also got to look at the way that she landed. She didn't land on her head. She didn't land on her neck. She landed with her back on the ground. So that's another part of the rule that you got to look at, rather than just looking at the parts that, I guess, influence the decision, I guess you could say. I can see that one's going to be one that people aren't happy about, though.
Yeah. And you can see why, but...
New Zealand.
All right.
3 points.
3 points.
The scoreboard's actually updating by itself, even without me being on it, which is interesting enough.
It hasn't put up the 3 points, though.
Not yet, but it was on 27 before, and now it's up to 29. And first point for the Black Ferns, surely, they have been able to get themselves the 3 points on the board, but now they want to try and get the try in the process as well. Kendra Coxedge now driving forward for the Kiwis. Round the side, it will be Pip Love. At least a yellow card. See, for me, I was saying probably penalty or yellow card as the two options. Definitely wasn't a red, though, in my opinion. Just because she would have had to drop her a lot heavier and a lot higher on the neck to be considered as the yellow. And hello, says Gareth. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. And also first points for the Black Ferns. Surely the question is now, though, will they have any more points in this first half, do you think, with 10 minutes left on the clock?
Hopefully.
Portia Woodman trying to step her way through. They've shut her down pretty well early.
Shut all the backs, or the whole bloody team down.
Another big run forward from the Black Ferns there. Georgia Ponsonby now linking up nicely. Space opening up. Ruiz got some speed and got some pace. That's a good shot from France, though, to slow her down. Kendra Coxedge goes off now. Bremner, Hirani, one more on the outside to Ruby Tui. Tries to step her way through. Once again, going to be dropped. Now, that one was a legal tackle. That's a good shot as well from France, bringing the physicality in this matchup. And also, we've got there. Speaking of which, are you going to pay the $8? Elon Musk wants to get the blue tick on Twitter. No, I don't even go on Twitter, so it would be a bit of a waste. I feel like I'm not built for Twitter.
No,
because Twitter's normally a lot of opinionated people saying their opinions. And I feel like I'm the opposite of that. I'll just be on the fence for everything. Now on a big run, offload on the outside. Ruby Tui slips and the ball goes into touch. France will have themselves the line out here once again. But New Zealand now getting a little bit closer. Good morning from Germany. It's 8:05 here. Says Gavin's welcome in, mate. Certainly going to be a big day of rugby union and league for yourself. Almost everything has been done in rugby to keep it safe. If a player is injured during the run of play, it's just unfortunate. Says David there, and you're best to stay away from Twitter, says the Lim report. And so I can't imagine you with a Twitter account. Can't imagine you with a Twitter account.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Who would be your first at?
Nah.
At Chris Hemsworth, up to. No.
Patrick, sorry.
Yeah, well, he unfortunately doesn't have Twitter, does he?
No.
His brother might, though.
No, I'm on Instagram, aren't I?
Yeah. And Donna Talks will be Donna's Twitter handle, says the Lim report, and 100% agreed, says the Lim report there as well. And also, Twitter is addictive, I must admit, says David the Mod. So it's one of those ones that I've never really, I guess when you're on Twitter and you know what you're doing on Twitter, I guess it's easier to do, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
But because I have no idea about Twitter, I just don't really dive into it. Guess you could say Coxedge now gives it off. It's going to be the first receiver here. Demant back at fly half for this game. I believe she was missing from the last match. Said DeAndre, that's close. Didri, sorry, I said it wrong once again. That's going to be again held up by France's defense. Great defense from the ladies in blue.
Too high.
And Twitter is often faster with the news than regular news, says the report. And Twitter is free, says Obi.
Anything free is great, isn't it?
Held up again, says the report. And here we go, says Grau. So yeah, great defense from France.
You can't fault it, can you really?
Fly half kicks it out on the full. Right, that actually becomes a 5-meter scrum now for New Zealand. She's not happy.
Oh, she's going to cry.
And I was saying, my mum looks different from this angle. In a good way or a bad way?
Don't know that one.
Also, the lighting's... Oh, I know what it will be, actually. Different camera. It's actually a different one from what I normally use. So, I mean, I don't know if I look any different, mainly because I always look this scruffy. But normally, we've got a different camera, slightly lower, and doesn't pick up the light as much as what this one does, if that makes sense. Yeah, kick straight out on the full. Canada getting themselves to win 19 points to 14 in the sevens, by the way.
Ooh.
For anyone who is curious about the seven side of things, this camera is awesome, by the way, says the Lim report. And also, we have got their secret back portal to censor Twitter, says Obi. And also, we have got almost couldn't recognize it, says Siddhartha. And who's got the ball, says Henry. It is going to be the 5-meter scrum for New Zealand. They are just strapping up a few of the players with injuries, that is. Settle down.
I wasn't thinking that way anyway.
What were you thinking? What are you
Not that way. Oh, it's just...
You're just having fun.
I'm just just hoping New Zealand will score here. They're a level playing field again.
Yeah, see, going into halftime 10-all, I think that would almost benefit the Black Ferns.
Yes,
They
definitely.
do seem to finish the matches a bit better.
Yeah.
We have just got the highlights package at the moment of the game, just waiting for the scrum that is about to take place for New Zealand. They're only 5 metres out from the line here. So decent attacking opportunity, I think, is the best way of describing it. Would you say?
Yeah, these women are getting worse than the guys for time wasting, though.
Ooh. Okay. I feel like if I had said that, I would have been destroyed. But my mum is a woman, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not. So that means that's...
Did you not realise that?
No, only recently. You know, I was about 20, 21, and I was like, hang on, my mum's a woman.
Jeez. I'm a person, Hamish.
We have fun, don't we? I'm going to quickly check the betting
when
odds.
you're locked out.
Yeah, I'll just be out there. You'll just hear knocking. Rugby Union, New Zealand, $1.60 favourites. France are $2.20 underdogs. And I wonder whether or not that's because New Zealand are just about to score the try. Stacey Flula runs it in, scores the try. I think the scoreboard once again was a little bit quick, but that's all right.
Was it?
That's all right.
It's all right.
So New Zealand, I believe, with that try, now becomes slightly more in favour of the favourites side of things. That Kendra Cottage took the quick tap, great wide pass out to Stacey Flula, and your scoreboard is faster than your commentary, by the way, says Lim Report. We hadn't noticed.
No, couldn't see.
And also, we have got thanks, man, says Kruger, and also who Black Ferns to try time New Zealand, and damn, I thought we would be winning, although now they could be drawing after this one, and the French coach was not too happy with that one, and then also try, and then good time to score close to half time. And that's better getting winning streak, says Deirdre.
Just Deirdre.
Deirdre.
I suppose she hasn't really got an R, though, after the I. But there was a girl in our year that was called Deirdre.
See. The more you know.
The more you know.
Shout out to Deirdre.
How's it going, Deirdre?
Is she still alive?
Who?
The one from your year.
I'm assuming so. I don't know. I haven't seen her for a while.
Could be her. 4 minutes.
Weird if it was.
Yeah, it would be small world.
I don't know if she's married, so I don't know. I don't know her married name.
This is going to be a tough kick for Renee Holmes here. And what's going on in the game, please? Less attention to your mum, please, and more on the players, says Christopher. That kick has gone over, and it will be now making the score 10-all. We had to wait for the kick to take place. So I guess that was why I was talking to my mum. Sorry, I should just ignore you. Go away. No, I can't hear it.
Trying to stop me from...
It deserved it. We would have 3 tries by now had the French been so unbelievable on the game. And well, Deirdre, Donna's friend, please advise if you're still alive. Thanks. And also French for desire. Yeah, but now New Zealand, they are going to have this ball back 37 minutes through. And the contest, still 3 minutes left of the first half. And around the side, it is going to be Pip Love does hit the carry. And also, we have got the oh my bit of mum jealousy there, says Gareth.
You think?
From the chat as well. Penalty goes the way of France. And come on, this is fun. And there was a pause and play. Love the banter, says the Lim Report. Yeah, we're not going to tell you each time she takes a step back while she's taking a kick, I think is the best way of describing it. Oh, she takes a step back with the right, the left, the right, the left. Now she does the side shuffle twice.
Oh, she's kicked it out.
Well, that one we probably should mention. That kick has gone into touch by France.
So she was allowed to. Sorry.
France, they've been brilliant in the breakdown so far throughout this matchup. Showing the World Cup ball there, waiting for Sochiet to make her way over to the ball. Damn big penalty for France. Certainly is an OMG. They're going to score, says Obi. And the chat as well on Gareth is asked how he's going by David. It's a big night ahead for the Rugby Union side of things. That is certainly for sure. It's going to be taken down now. France going for the run. Or going for almost the run. It's a rolling ball, but it's going very quickly. They've got about 7 to 8 players that need a Tim Tam. Says Obi in there as well. Tim Tams are very good. Now going short side. Nice inside ball from France. Looking to attack. 10 metres out from the line. They're crushing us at breakdown time. They certainly are. And I think that's something that they've done throughout the rest of their games as well. Now going off to the short side. She saw a little bit of a gap there for Bordon.
Well, because Ruby Tui was in the ruck.
And she now is as well, going for a bit of a counter-ruck there from Ruby Tui. The ball still available for the French now. 90 seconds left on the clock here. And their try really made France angry here. They are fired up now, and they've got 1:30 to try and get themselves the lead back in the semi-final. Almost halfway through it. Another big run forward from Deshay, who I've hopefully pronounced correctly. And number 7 for France is a beast. And says Scroll. Yeah, they are only 10 meters out from the line. Up to 8 phases now. She should have aimed right rather than crash bang. Big space there. Says it was David now charging. Once again, it will be the French number 7 for this one, which is Kuduro, or Diro, I believe it is. And also tries these over being great. And there as well now, big carry forward from Chauchat. Only a couple meters out. France looking to really attack this one. Was that a little knock on the ground? I think it went backwards. So it is play on just for now. French moving up to double figures for their phases. Short ball charging hard. And France get themselves another try. And this time it was Vernier who was able to go in and get the try for the French just before the end of the first half. And Chloe Jacquet is not playing in the save. She's fullback usually for France. Yeah, it does seem like she has been left out. Other than off the bench, she is number 23 and didn't quite see the teams. And France scored too angry, too good, and too fierce for us. Says it was Ypres in there as well. But a great try for the French, charging over the line. And it's actually been the French backs who have been almost scoring more tries in this contest. But it's the French backs from crash ball. So it's almost as if they've all just decided, you know what, we're just going to charge at the line as hard as we can. Halftime in this game just about upon us. And it is going to be Druin, who, of course, I forgot to mention, she took one step back with her left, her right, her left, her right, and then she shuffled round and kicked the ball over the posts for the conversion. 17 points to 10 at halftime. I love French women, says Obi in there as well. I think you love most women, Obi, from what I've heard. Is it the semi-final or the final? It is the semi-final for this matchup. And nice, says Nate. And also the French forwards are clearly dominating over ours. And yeah, New Zealand, they're certainly going to have to step it up in the second half if they want a chance of going on and getting themselves through to the final up against England. And also still in it, great game, says the Lim Report. Yeah, relatively close one. A shout out to Boston, Massachusetts in the USA, says Kruger. Is that where you're from, Kruger? Because it must be random hour of the... Or actually, no, you might be not too bad of an hour at the moment. But it could also be the middle of the night. It could be 2 a.m. for yourself, maybe.
Do you want me to find out?
Maybe. And yes, sir, says Kruger. And come on, New Zealand, more tries to win the game, says Deirdre there. Oh, we could get a Siri going. What is the time in Boston, Massachusetts? 3:17 a.m. So a little bit later. I was like, as you move to the next room or new room or set, why green screen not there? Says Coding. So yeah, we are in a different room today. We've got the curtains behind us rather than the green screen. I mean, I could see how the green screen looks if we do have it with the curtains behind us, but I think for this one, we will stick with just without it, because later on we are going to have 2 live streams going at the same time. It's 3:15 where I am, says Kruger, and yet the TAB, as the Black Ferns are strong favourites, and France have won their last 4, says Fergus. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I believe because it's at Eden Park that is really swaying the decisions, I guess you could say. And it's going to be an interesting second half because New Zealand need to start it well, or else if France score themselves their next try...
Yeah, it'd be pretty tough to come back from that, wouldn't it?
Will be indeed. Watching from Florida. So also on the same time zone. And Suri, will I win the lotto? Should I ask her? Will David win lotto? Here's what I found. She just Googled it. And our 19 million nearly crushed lotto winner. Mark didn't like winning so much money. So maybe you don't want to win lotto, David, I think is what it's trying to tell me. Maybe. What are the winning numbers? We'll just tell everyone so everyone can win, eh?
Oh, yeah, that is. It's been.
And New Zealand have to win this game. Put your best in now. And French fly half, Caroline Drouin. And there says Nate. And also I took the French at $3.87. Says, geez, probably a decent enough odd for them in this contest. I believe New Zealand, they should be underdogs at this point in time. But, yeah, France are actually... Oh, no, it's switched around. New Zealand are $1.95. France are $1.75 at the moment for this matchup. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag, I think is the best way of describing it. And it's a pick'em game for the second half. Oh, so you might get a few spammers. throughout the live stream. So what they're trying to do is show off their private photos. Okay. So what you're going to do there, either if you've got a moderator in the chat, they will get rid of
Sort
it.
them out.
Yep, pretty much. Or if you have to do it yourself, all you do is go on to there, go to the dots, left click, and then block user.
Okay.
Actually, put user in timeout would be better, because or else then you might accidentally block one of the regulars. We can't have that, can we? And hey, haven't you ever thought about live streaming basketball like NBL or something else? Says, Chris, I've thought about it in the past, but I probably don't know enough about the sport to be able to really comment well on it. I guess you could say take Tui off. She seems a bit off. Says Obi there, and also, yeah, they would deserve money after that offer, says Fergus. And also my prediction, Hamish becomes an international commentator next year, and World Rugby starts paying him, says T7. I don't think they will.
No.
I think in a weird way, it sounds crazy to say, but I'm almost their competition.
Yeah.
Because I'm taking people away from watching or paying for subscriptions to watch the games for free, even though I'm not showing them.
Yeah, but most of these people can't see the game anyway, can they?
Yeah, so I guess all they would be doing, if they did do a contract with me, I bet you it would be something to do with locking it out so that I can't do YouTube streams. It'll be like a fixed amount that I get for not doing streams so that they get more traction.
You reckon?
Dirty politics.
Mm.
And what's Mum's channel? She doesn't have one at this stage, but maybe one day she will have one. And Hamish, we are ready, you seem ready to be fully professional, says Fergus. I've always wanted to come to New Zealand, says Kruger. I looked all over the world. Your coverage is great, says Stubilt. Maybe?
Yeah.
Stew built? Maybe it could be stew built.
Who knows?
I love the Boston Celtics. Kruger breaks and rips. Good city and team. And also we have got there, I've always wanted to come to New Zealand. It's a very nice place.
It is.
Come to Boston, I'll teach you about basketball, says Kruger. And there's, yeah, I mean, the NBA is one that I would like to eventually maybe start to do, but I feel like I certainly want to do it when I start to know more about it rather than being a complete rookie on the streams type thing. Because I guess that's what we've done with the Rugby League World Cup. We've slowly built up our knowledge throughout the live streams, and now we know quite a few more of the players, which is quite cool. And we have actually got a Rugby League World Cup quarterfinal a little bit later on. You'll be all Donna. If there's any spammers, we'll send some of the boys around to deal to them, says David. And there as well.
Yeah. So if I swear too much, Hamish will get in trouble.
No, I won't. It'll be all right. Hopefully. Depends what swear words you bring out.
Well.
The world is your oyster.
I just about brought out a few before. But anyway.
And better believe it, says Kruger there. But yeah, that will be the 4:10 a.m. live stream, David, for All Blacks versus Wales. My mum and dad are actually going to be doing it as a co-commentary while I am doing Papua New Guinea versus England. So I would say if we had to pick one to put a moderator on, I'll probably message Sebastian as well just to see what he is up to during that time. But yeah, it might be that one that we do end up having a couple moderators there for you just so that they don't end up with the chat going rampage.
So it could be fun.
Currently just waiting for the second half to get back underway. I think we're going to have to see a little bit more from the backs for New Zealand. You know, you're looking at Stacey Fleuler, Fitzpatrick, Portia Woodman, Ruby Tui. None of them have really stood up in this matchup yet. 54% possession in favour of the Kiwis. Territory is in France's possession of 57, which doesn't actually equal 100. But we'll go with it.
Yeah.
Just for now, the missed tackles 6 for France. So that is somewhere that maybe New Zealand can use to their advantage, try and break that line. But there were times where they were panicking.
I think we sort of was trying to run their forwards round, but in the end sort of didn't go anywhere.
No. Every time we reached the breakdown, maybe that is why they were looking for so many offloads. Because at the end of the day, like, it was maybe that breakdown that really decided that first half. Every time New Zealand would try and go for them repeatedly, they're actually showing the highlights here. France would get straight over the ball, win themselves the breakdown turnover, and never cave, mate. Keep on keeping on. I will send you $1 or $2, says Stubilt. Hopefully I've said that correctly. Do let me know if that's around the wrong way as well. I'll try my best to correct it and have faith. Go New Zealand, says Gordon there, and Black Ferns are being manhandled. Only positive is that Stacey Fleuler try, and our defence has allowed less points in comparison to last year's Northern Tour. And I hope Wayne Smith awakens something in the girls, prioritise the cleaners as much as the ruck and be physical. We want to dump truck you, or they want to dump truck you. If them. Not literally, though.
No.
That would not be allowed.
No.
Oh, they're actually having the conversation about was the yellow card warranted? The lady wearing a full yellow suit has said yes, absolutely. And also we get the New Zealand backs. Make it happen. Good luck, girls, says Deirdre. And also we got you, Donna, says Nate. And there was good evening, Amish, Donna, and everyone. Right on cue. I feel like Sebastian, your vampire instincts maybe kicked in there. You heard your name mentioned, and then you kind of, I guess, jump in there. But yeah, we were just talking about the fact that Mum and Dad are actually going to be doing the Wales versus All Blacks live stream later on. And depending on who's up moderator-wise, we were wondering if you were willing to moderate, depending on how many we've got on the channel. Is it a new setup? I'm witnessing a little bit, a part-time setup. I guess you could say pretty much what we've got is this is where Mum and Dad are going to be doing the All Blacks versus Wales first half from. So we've got the microphone, webcam, laptop, and then the coverage over here. And then also the weird thing is that because I've got so much equipment, like too much, a lot of people would say, we've still got the same setup, but in there, it works out. We're very lucky, yes. And also we have got their salutations, Baz, and Ruby Tilly is hurt, says Luke. And also Stu Bill, mate from Sunny Coast, AU, but grew up in Whakatane in there as well, says Stu Bill. And also it's the Olympics all over again. Easy game on early games. Then struggling on the finals, not really tested. And also we've got their Gia said, let's talk politics. What do you think of the woman and men's pay gap in union? There's a gap. Correct. Salutations, Baz, says Obi, and then hey bro, says Gareth to Sebastian. I don't know how deep you want me to go into it overall, but there's a difference in how much some of the men are making compared to how much some of the women are playing or making, I should say. I'd like to think they aren't charging them to play, are they? Be unfortunate. And also, I'll be there for Donna and Kiwi Dad, stealing the hearts of viewers like Bonnie and Clyde, says Sebastian.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Then the live stream will start. You'll just be like, F Wales. It's going to be a good match, isn't it?
Should be.
And also amazing to see that women's rugby is finally getting a crowd in New Zealand. It is good to see. And Sonny Bill Williams versus Hunt is a fight you should do, Hamish, says Obi. When is it taking place? I know someone mentioned it a while ago. Is it this weekend or is it actually a few weeks' time? Sonny Bill is fighting.
Yeah, talking about it, but
I'm going to have a quick look. Sonny Bill versus Mark Hunt. Live fight updates. Is it tonight? It might be. It might be tonight.
now is it?
It might actually, yeah, it might be tonight. It's on Saturday, November 5th.
It's today.
It kicks off at 6 p.m, the main card. So their fight is probably
Already gone.
not quite. It's just about to take on,
Okay.
I believe. So yeah, that fight is about maybe 5 to 10 minutes away. Maybe a little bit more. So yeah, we can't really cover it, unfortunately.
Can't do everything, can you?
No, and Sonny Bill versus Hunters tonight. Says Ipris. Yeah, very soon. Exciting.
Who do we want?
I mean, I think I would. Oh, it's a tough one, but I would say I prefer Sonny Bill to win it.
Okay.
Just because I don't know. I mean, I like Mark Hunt. Don't get me wrong, but he's already done it in terms of he's done it in the UFC. Now it's more of the case of, I guess he's getting a little bit older. Same with Sonny Bill, but Sonny Bill's probably still got a little bit more of a path that he can create after this fight. Whereas Mark Hunt might be only one more fight and then he hangs up the gloves.
No, okay.
You know?
Fair enough.
That makes sense. Did I make any sense there, ladies and gentlemen, or was I just rambling? You're trying to sneeze without people knowing. I think, yeah, you did a pretty good job. Yeah, no one even knew. This is a long halftime break.
It is.
We do enjoy doing a podcast in between these matches, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh. Here she goes again. Oh. It's another one. The trio, the hat trick. Can we see a hat trick in the second half? Mark Hunt is a risky name to say on stream. It is. It's even, I mean, it's right up there. Mike's probably a bit harder. If you put them together. Yep. And also we've got there Hamish and Yo Mum, I assume, or birthing person, says Slayer. So yeah, it is my mum with me here.
How's it going?
She's sneezing big time lately at the moment. She's trying to hold back her allergens. Allergens, is that a word? It sounds like a word, but I don't think it is. It's just kind of one that I slightly made up. And also, Sonny Bill versus Jake Paul, I'd pay to see, says over there. And also, guess we will be playing for third, says Dallin, although it's not over yet. They are 7 points down. As long as they get a good start to the second half, there's still a chance. Well, then can't wait to see Sonny Bill chuck a few hands, just like he did with his offload, says Lipris. And also, all I know, Uso going to win this boxing match, says Nate. And also, finals rugger and semi-finals. Love my extended travels in France. Going to France for reasons. Can I go into there? Thank you for this coverage. Always a room for you here, says Doublet. And there's, I appreciate you, mate, there. And also, Kia Kaha Black Fern says Clayton. So the second half is just about underway. They are just advertising a ute or a defender, as it was called. But now, second half. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm still a bit worried.
It's not secured yet for France, but it's certainly not completely out of there. Also, I'm picking go too risky in your own half. Got to get territory and force mistakes. And the new YouTube update is bollocks. Ever since the new version, I have to constantly refresh the stream. See the new comments in the chat. That does sound like it would be quite large bollocks. Overall. They've changed the layout of the YouTube studio as well, which I was very confused about. I couldn't actually work out where a certain section was that we used to have, but I think I've worked it out now. Yeah, took 1 hour for the first half and the halftime break. So actually, it's relatively slow moving.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking before.
And Bez, someday making us watch ads, I'm guessing, says Obi. And there as well. I should also mention, though, out of all of the things on YouTube lately, I've found myself watching more YouTube shorts. I feel like it's kind of weird, but they're pretty much just either rugby ones or just random weird little clips that you get on them. So I feel like that has been something that has filled in 2 minutes when I get a spare couple minutes. Good fun. Now, second half underway between these two sides, and France able to regather the kickoff straight away here. Who's the first try scorer in the second half, do you think?
Portia Woodman.
Portia Woodman, okay. Going very specific. I like it. I'm going to say it will be Seta Hirini. We're on the same page of the sevens, ladies. Possibly getting the job done, but now it is going to be at Bordon. Puts the ball high, nicely taken by New Zealand almost, but Flula, I almost gave her credit before she took that one. I thought she was going to catch it easy. Now, Cox Edge goes back across to the left-hand side. Our Ruiz hits it at the line. 50 metres out. Cox Edge once again finds her way off to the left-hand side. Little grubber in behind from Renee Holmes. Good pick up there from Teresa Fitzpatrick. And now Chelsea Bremner around the side. I got to say, I love both of your accents, says Kruger in there. Yeah, probably a little bit different to the USA kind of style of accent, isn't it?
French is stolen again.
Can you do a USA American accent?
No.
Fair enough. No. Very Kiwi.
No. Yeah, no.
And as I tell you about it, Obi, 220-second unskippable ads makes my blood boil. I feel bad because that's probably I always say it though on our videos as well. If you can skip the ads, skip them. Which sounds really bad because that's our revenue, isn't it? But there's nothing worse than being on YouTube and just having to wait. Someone on one of the cricket ones, fair play to them, they sat through a 40-minute ad. And they were just in the chat and they were like, Hamish, this ad's going to be finished soon, and then I'm gonna join the chat. But you just cancel out, and then from there reload it, and then you'll get a 20-second ad if you must sit through it. Sri Lanka have won the toss and have chose to bat versus England as well. For anyone wondering about that one, and also I got Red Rooster with gravies waiting here for you, my guy, and also we have got there. And the chat as well, you guys using laptops. So pretty much we've got the laptop for streaming and then the iPad for viewing. We've got a different setup to the way that it normally sits. Typical, the guy chats, she listens. I just talk too much, I think is the best way of describing it, Joe. I think anyone who's sitting next to me doesn't really get a word in. You just got to watch mine and George's live streams. And by the way, George is a man. Oh, scary stuff right there. And also my phone updates the chat automatically, says Steve there, and also way to get. And there, and Bale, Georgia, yes, says Conrad. And there, Ruby Tui for the next try for the Black Ferns. Now it's going to be in the hands of France. Moving 40 metres out from their own line here. And please give more opportunities for the beautiful lady to talk, says what a Gishois in there as well.
I don't need to talk. I'm watching the rugby.
Oh, hands on the ball. New Zealand trying to rush up. I think that was maybe Roz who almost got her hands on it. New Zealand, though, nicely taken by Portia Woodman, attacking the line, trying to break over the top. Now, we have seen more sevens ladies from the New Zealand side than the French side for this matchup. The question is, will they be able to work together just like they did in the most recent Sevens World Cup? On the phone, Steve says Sebastian has kicked in behind Ruby too. He kicks it forward,
Yes!
and she might have just scored it.
Sorry.
They're going to be going upstairs to check this one out, but Ruby
She
Tui,
was my other choice, and someone else said that. Yes.
and she might have just got it. And you're going to take a nap before the Wales game? I am not. I'm actually going to be. We've got a few more games of the sevens. Then I am also going to be doing some editing. But you're going to sleep before it, aren't you? Good.
I'm going to bed after this.
I see. Currently 8:35 here in New Zealand. That Welsh game going to be kicking off at about 4:15. So I believe your live stream starting at 4:10.
Ooh, okay. So
Try
I'll be about
stands.
5 Yes.
New Zealand get themselves back into the game now. Ruby Tui scoring her 5th try of the Rugby World Cup. I may have to switch the laptop when Kiwi mum and dad take on the Welsh, says Sebastian there as well. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, because the last time we did 2 live streams at the same time, I believe it was Super Rugby. You guys were doing the Blues game. I was doing the Sevens.
That's
I
right.
think was the combination there. And Mama So Precious says Obi there and Ruby Tui with the touchdown. Says the Lim report. Yeah, she's fought hard, got that ball down just in time.
That's a great try.
And the poise are swinging around at Eden Park. Renee Holmes very happy with that one. A little salute from her and Tui. But now New Zealand, they find themselves back as probably favourites in this contest. That is how quickly it can change. But this kick is still an important one for Renee Holmes. 44 minutes through the contest. New Zealand yet to be given the points on the board for us, which is kind of good in a way. So that it doesn't update too early, but 2 from 2 so far from Renee Holmes. She's actually had a very good kicking day.
She has. Well, she kicked that through, didn't she?
Now, an important one. I remember that Amish says, David the Modern. Yeah, from the sounds of it, you guys did enjoy the commentary that they were providing.
Dad was commentating. I was reading the chat.
She shanked that one.
She did.
Going away to the left-hand side, so it will be an unsuccessful conversion. The score sits now 17 points to France, 15 to the Black Ferns. Who's that? Someone off the bench? Joined up with the squad. Probably not too far off from making the front row replacements, I wouldn't think, for New Zealand here. It's going to be kicked off long. Once again, taken nicely by Seta Hirini. They did show a training drill how she pretty much gets picked up and put down every single time. And also, we got that PA said what would happen in cricket at the coin toss. A seagull caught the ball in its beak and flew away. Probably they'd need another coin. I think would be the easiest way of doing it. I don't think they'd be like we have to go and find that like seagull and hurt it so that we can get the coin back. They'll probably just go, who's got a spare one? Now, France have got that ball back. It would be an interesting sight to see. We've seen them hit by cricket balls before. I said, take Tui off. I'm clearly an idiot, says Obi. And there, this is a good Saturday brewing wine and listening to today's games via your channel. Thanks very much, says Gavin. No worries. And we have got plenty more coming up in the future. That is for sure. Renee Holmes now off to Stacey Flula, breaking the line out to Portia Woodman. Now it's starting to open up for the Black Ferns. Some pace being shown there by the flying number 11. Gets back up to her feet. Currently sitting 40 metres out now for the Black Ferns. Trying to go forward. Seta Hirini. And also we have got there. I remember Kiwi Dad really concentrating on the game and provide the best commentary he could. While people in the chat were distracting him with golf questions.
Yeah, that's right. Asking him what his handicap was and all that.
But yeah, it will be an interesting one because he also has gone to sleep early. So
yeah, but he was up early going to Korea for golf.
You shouldn't have said that. Now everyone will ask about how golf went. Now Portia Woodman, 35 metres out from the line. New Zealand, they seem to have better ball security in the breakdowns throughout this half. Demand now gives it off to Georgia Ponsonby, who fell awkwardly until we get another try. I think she's got a decent crack at this stage. Definitely if they keep on going out to that side. It was a mistake from the French. Ruby Tui almost with the football slide tackle there. Trying to get the ball back. It is still available for France. Good step forward. Seems like New Zealand are now the side putting the pressure on in the breakdown. Nice work.
Yes.
Penalty goes the way of the Black Ferns. That was
Good
Georgia
turnover.
Ponsonby getting over the ball. She's not happy either. She's slapping a few people on the back. And also Sunnyvale versus a Hunt on Stan Sport. Should be because it's an Aussie. I believe it is going to be. Might even be on Spark Sport as well here in New Zealand.
Doesn't matter.
Brutal. What I'm going to quickly do is actually look up and see what is happening in that fight for the live fight updates from 9 now. There you go. Looks like New Zealand are considering the 3 points here.
Yeah.
It's risky, but I can understand why they're doing it. So the last kick was not a successful one. This kick now. So Mark Hunt actually comes in as $4.60 underdog. That surprises me because he's got a lot of power. If he catches Sonny Bill on the chin, might end up hurting him a little bit. Big love, David. Sorry the message didn't come through in my chat. A pissing update, says Sebastian in there. And I remember talking about golf and all your girlfriends, says David the Mod there.
Did he have a few back then, did you?
Back then, I don't know whether I had some back then. It's very similar to now, I guess, isn't it?
Oh, well.
Yeah.
These things happen.
They do.
Yeah.
48 and a half minutes through. New Zealand
Ooh.
with Renee Holmes. About to line up this who moved the goalpost. Bloody hell. His name. Holmes. It's going to be a tough kick from about 35 out. And it's curling away
sugar.
to the side. And who's winning, says Stephen, at the moment? It is still a 2-point victory in favour of France.
Put the markers on her. You said she was kicking well.
She was. You're ahead of us on Spark Sport. Says Dallin and also we were there talking to which, how's the new lady, Hamish? Well, at the moment, we are just considering ourselves as friends. We hit the 1 month, which was pretty impressive overall. But yeah, timing-wise, didn't seem like the right time for such a thing. So currently just friends at this point in time. And how much time in each half? I'm just learning about rugby. I bet on New Zealand, says Kruger. So 40 minutes each half, so another 30 minutes to go here. And who's winning, says Stephen? It is still France who have got the points on the board by just a little bit of a narrow margin. Kicked in behind, the space not really there.
Because they're up pretty flat, aren't they, the French?
So looking for that space. It's going to be a good clearing kick downfield, though, from France, driving New Zealand back to their own 22 and starve them with position. Black Ferns into the Space Shuttle's last launch. They should have had a bobby head in the cockpit. See how fast the head would have gone.
50-22.
Oh, that's a good kick then. That's an even better one for France. Not for New Zealand, but for France, it's pretty good. And also, we've got a nice one, Hamish. Happy for you, mate. Says David the Mod. Yeah. Yeah, although just friends at the moment. You know? Yeah. Timing. Timing's my word of the week. Throw in from France there. Nicely stolen from New Zealand. Will you make a live for Manu Samoa game, says Loki. Sadly, that game actually overlaps with Papua New Guinea versus England. So the only way we would have been able to do it is only doing 40 minutes of that Samoa versus Italy game, which I didn't really want to tease you guys with only half of a match. Unless that is something you want to have happen, if you want to be teased by half a match, and then we'll just keep you updated on Papua New Guinea's game when they are playing up against the English. But yeah, do let me know if that's something you guys want to see. Originally, I wasn't going to because I didn't know if you would want to see 40 minutes. That was a knock on.
Knock on.
But they aren't going for it. At the moment, it's going to be play on. Penalty goes the way of New Zealand, though.
It was a knock on, Red.
Is that right?
Yes, it was.
And also, they're just friends. Yeah, right, says David the Mod. No, we are at the moment, you know. I feel like I don't want to go too in depth with it, but overall, I feel like it's the right decision for just this current point of time, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I'm just watching rugby.
It looks like your leg's quite sore at the moment for France, isn't it? And also solid Fern girls, let's go. We need the Black Ferns in the final for decent crowds. Can't see a full house for England versus France. Yeah. Does seem like the big drawing game is England versus New Zealand. And nice, unhappy. Yeah. Also, anyone letting off fireworks in St Andrews? Yep, we've heard a couple today. Little, not too many others.
No.
Just the one set.
I don't think it was even dark and someone was letting them off. Yeah,
but who wants to wait till it's dark, you know?
Yeah.
You spend all the money on them, you might as well just blow them as quickly as you can. That sounds dodgy. And then from there, have them explode in the sky.
Oh, geez, stop now. Just stop. Just don't ask about fireworks.
And also, you really are friends if you don't go too in depth. Sorry for this, guys. There as well.
Come on,
Go
boys.
hard, the Black Ferns, you got this. And you move the pass away. Or the post away, says Nate. And New Zealand going to be kicking this one for the touchline. Who else is still in the World Cup? Just England at the moment are the last side who are remaining in this Rugby World Cup. So they are playing in the final next week. One of these two sides, the victor in this game, will be making their way through to the final as well.
It's not because the game's boring, it's just I'm tired.
Thrown in by Georgia Ponsonby. Too much on that one, but it's going to be a knock-on against France. Kendra Coxedge cleans up for the Black Ferns, sitting currently 25 metres out from the line. Hirini goes back now to his Sevens teammate, Ruby Tui in the midfield. Hirini once again is going to recycle. This is something that you see from Sevens pretty often. It's just whoever's near the breakdown, that's the halfback. Now, looks like the actual halfback, Kendra Coxedge, going to be there now. Gives it off to Rose. Do you like American football? I haven't really watched a huge amount of it in the past. I feel like if I got into it more and watched a lot more of it, I would enjoy it. But for now, I guess I only really see the occasional highlight. And the New Zealand kick through try was grounded short, then released. No try VAR screw up, says M. Hennon. And there as well. So, yeah, they didn't actually really check that one. They just checked the grounding. Overall for the Kiwis now, it's going to be the wide pass out wide, which is what a wide pass is, really. Now down the wing, Portia Woodman able to make the tackle. Chelsea Bremner jumps on it, but straight on the ball for France. No. Unable to get the turnover. Kendra Coxedge once again going to be kicking it in mind. That is a better kick, though.
Yeah, because it's into space.
Space. Passes back across the French fullback now, given an almighty boot. She's already got 1:50:22 for the day. Portia Woodman deciding what she wants to do with it. It looked like she was going to kick, but we all know Portia's not kicking nothing. And she's just not really done anything else with the ball either. She's given it back to France.
No.
Maybe she should have kicked it. Let's go New Zealand, says Kruger. And also great work, you two. Always great to see Mum involved. Go the Fern, says Vix. And then good morning, Donna and Hamish, says Darren. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. And as this is semis, it certainly is the second semi-final. The first one, England were able to beat Canada by 7 points. Currently, this game decided by only the 2 so far. Now, France going off to the short side. Nice draw and pass. Here comes Fall down the wing, steaming forward. She's going to be tackled well. New Zealand. It could be, but it also could have been from the side.
No.
But no? Okay. Fair enough. Quick tap taken by Kendra Coxedge.
I don't know.
No, that's not the play from New Zealand. Unfortunately, she's just given the ball straight back to them. And that seems to be her tactic lately, is just give it straight back to France. Is she French? Maybe. Kendra Coxedge. Now, New Zealand, they've got this ball back to March. She won't be able to kick this one into touch on the full, though, because it's no longer going to be the penalty. And the question is, did she do it because she doesn't trust their line out? Or did she just do it because she had a brain fade?
Brain fade.
Okay, now back line. Moving forward for New Zealand.
Game going, and that's fine, but the rest of your team have got to be in on it too.
Now back across for New Zealand. Nice spin from Teresa Fitzpatrick. Considered the offload. It wasn't quite there available, though, for them. Now Coxedge goes off to Rule, throwing herself at the line. In fact, it might have been Pip Love there who did have that ball. It's another penalty to New Zealand. Right, yeah, Coxedge, don't give her the ball. She's just going to tap. She's tapped it again. They're going to continue going. That seems to be New Zealand's tactic here. They don't want lineouts. At least that one, they didn't kick it away, though. At least they ran it for that ball. Still driving forward. And also, we've got the... just read Gareth's one. We've got, what if Lewis Hamilton joined WWE? It would be an interesting one. And also, Hamish, just her, you rate her a 9 out of 10 and you're the one. Get it? Says David the Mod. I feel like because you said no more jokes like that, we're getting all the jokes like that.
Okay. I get it. Okay. Go for it.
Go New Zealand, get in there, says David the Mod. And also, I watched the Wheelchair Rugby League World Cup yesterday. It was honestly brilliant. It's very impressive what they do. And the way they just throw their bodies on the line.
Smash each other.
Yeah. And also, damn great steal by the French and saving the suit for England versus New Zealand final, says Dale. Maybe. Could be the case. Although first, New Zealand, of course, need to win this match. Come on, the Black Ferns. What's the crowd like? And is it at Eden Park? Appreciate the live commentary, says Garth. So it is at Eden Park. Crowd, they were expecting around 20-something thousand for this matchup. Hopefully, if it's New Zealand versus England, they will have a lot more ticket sales for next week. But I can only see, if it's France versus England, about 15 to 20,000 in attendance for the final. And also damn great steal by the French. And also we have got there that we in there as well, says David. And also we have got there from Jimmy Jones, he has said about going for France. And also I heard a rumour that a combined New Zealand-Australia team will face the British and Irish Lions in 2025. What do you think of that? I'm excited. See if that is the case. I watched the highlights of the wheelchair matches. Good stuff indeed, says it was Sebastian. And is this on Sky? It's actually on Spark Sport here in New Zealand, sadly. So only on one of the providers out of the two. They're actually checking this one for a TMO decision here. Is it for some foul play? I'm not really seeing any foul play at this stage. I think we're going to need a closer camera. Who has the ball currently? The TMO is just deciding what's going to happen next. It's looking at a shot. I'm not really seeing anything in that.
I think they took someone out.
But I believe it will be New Zealand's ball.
Yeah.
Once they do go through it as their wheelchair union. I don't think we got rugby union wheelchair leagues, do we?
I don't know.
Not that I know of anyone. And I think he has this one. Or has this one, says Relaxing Kiwi. And also we've got a good question. Shame the crowd wasn't better. Auckland rugby supporters need to do better. And France says Relaxing Kiwi. And Gavin won't be many Aussies, says Dale. And might go back to the semi-final where I usually have more rugby content, says Will and the Wrecker. And there, well, we were waiting for the TMO to make the decision. Nothing was happening, I think is the best way of describing it. Normally, if we get distracted, it's because they are just looking at things. So now it's about to be a line-out, so we will get back to a bit more of the rugby.
Same guy, is it?
No, different fella. Everyone's been very relentless on this one, haven't they? And
just because they haven't got Spark Sport, pay for it.
Oh, okay, calm down now. We don't need to call them out like that. Now New Zealand with the line-out throw, as the game is now going to be back underway. Luca Connor gets it in for New Zealand, and the rolling ball will be commencing. Luca Connor driving forward nicely. Still available for the Kiwis, sitting 15 metres out from the line. Still marching forward. I believe they've actually broken off the back with Luca Connor again. She's been dragged down nicely by France, but now 10 metres out from the line. Almost dropped by Nadine Ruz, but she's just been able to hang on to it. Now Cox Edge goes off to the right-hand side. New Zealand over the line, and it will be another try for the Kiwis.
It went 20-17 on there.
And England looked beatable versus Canada today. They did. They didn't really have the momentum that they normally would have in the wheelchair blats, says Relaxing Kiwis. We don't actually have a side in the rugby league wheelchair one. I prefer to listen to your son, mum, says Will and the Wrecker. And
so do I.
To be fair, I do talk a lot in this one. And also we're hoping football will be interesting, says Dale. And also we're over there, Try Sutherland report. And also, so does anyone know what the New Zealand wheelchair team is called? I believe, is it the Wheelchair Blacks? Or the Wheelchair All Blacks, I guess? Or if it's actually based off the league, it's probably the Wheelchair Kiwis or something along those lines. And also, let's go, says Golden Guest. And Anzac versus British and Irish Lions, South Africa looking on mad as hell as usual, says Gareth there. Now the kick about to be taking place for Demant. We did have a wheelchair side one time ages ago, says Loki. And Ewan Chicha, not quite. Couple hours south. Demant. She's been a bit quiet in this game, Demant, compared to a couple of the other matches we have seen in the Scottish game. I believe she did come off the bench, or did she actually not get any time in that one? But in the Wales and Australia game, she was certainly everywhere for the Kiwis, now making the score 22 points to 17.
But the French are up pretty quick, aren't they? So
yeah, so I guess she doesn't really get much of an opportunity to shut down or try and create chance on the outside of the wheelchair blacks, says a Relaxing Kiwi. And there as well. Now it's going to be kicked off. Right, it will be the number 10, Druin. It's John, almost the 10 metres. I think that went backwards, but Hiddenney's been able to clean up for the Black Ferns now. And once again, the ball available to the Wheel Blacks. The Wheel Blacks, I think, says Garth, and get a penalty, says Cooper there around the side. Once again, Allures left France, says Bizot, and also let's make it the British, Irish, and Safa Lions. Can you imagine that team? Holy moly, says Sebastian. Yeah, that would be a strong side. Now, Cox Edge goes back. It's going to be kicked up high. The Blacks wheelie. Says 45, almost the cross kick taken out on the wing, but not quite able to hang on to it. There was the number 23 for the Black Ferns. I'll just have a quick look at his Litienga, who is slotting in at 23 for this game. So Demant almost got it going, just a bit too far out in front of her. If it was going to find the hand, so it could have been very dangerous. And also we've got that France Allez says Poisod there. territory in the second half, 60% in favour of France. So New Zealand probably doing well to have got themselves the lone try of this one, like a commentary from Alice Springs. Says Anthony there. Very nice part of the country, isn't it?
Yeah, my brother's been there.
And also remembers the controversy around the New Zealand badminton team name a few years back. Do you know the New Zealand side?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? It's a fun one, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I used to play a bit of badminton. One day I could have been a member of the New Zealand badminton side. I was going to use their name there. Yeah. Relaxing Kiwi has just told everyone, just in case they didn't know. Yeah. Come on, Te Mana Wahine Toa, says Mark. And still 21 minutes to go. It's been a slow matchup between these two sides. I think it's because of the scrum resets we have seen, which is why we aren't doing the play-by-play just at this very moment, because we are waiting for the scrum to go down between the two sides. Big push. Yeah, and that's going to be the penalty in favour of the Black Ferns. Taking the quick tap again from Kendra Coxhead. She's trying to get on the 7 side, I think, with all these quick taps. Ruby Tui receiving the ball on the inside, passed off to Portia Woodman, 1-on-1 down the wing. To be able to break through one tackle, but then the reinforcements of Vernier, one of the try scorers for France, have been able to stop her. Now Ruiz trying to go through. It's a good carry from New Zealand. Looking to put phase after phase together just on the 22. We mentioned that it seemed like New Zealand would be the stronger in the second half. And it seems like that is going to be the case. Nice offload there to Munt. Carries hard. Tackled in the last-ditch tackle by Fall. Now out down the wing. Letiainga just able to stay in the field of play. But France, they've been able to get the turnover. They're going back for the initial penalty, though. And also, we got their badminton name, Terrible Liner. Says, Donny, and you're doing New Zealand versus Fiji in the Rugby League World Cup. We're not actually too sure yet. I know that we've got plans of doing Australia-France, which is at the same time. But we may end up doing a bit of a reshuffle and having someone do the commentary for that France versus Australia match while we do the commentary for New Zealand versus Fiji in the Rugby League World Cup. We are still kind of deciding. Is that France, says Emmanuel, and are you going to do Samoa versus Tonga? That is one that we are going to be doing on the channel. And who got a penalty, says Rice. It was the penalty to New Zealand, so it could be an easy 3 if they want it. I think they're going to definitely try and be relatively aggressive, though, the Black Ferns. With the amount of quick taps that we've seen them take, it wouldn't surprise me if they decided to go for the corner here.
No, I think they're going for the 3, aren't they?
You think? If it's straight out in front, it's probably the best option. I think I hear 5 weeks as well. I hope Samoa wins and gets redemption against the Poms, says Loki there. And also, no, we need tries while we're clearly on top. But yeah, it does look like they are taking on the 3 for Demand. She's got the last kick over. We're looking to do the same here.
This, it goes
8 points. And Tuga decide to just kick goals. You're the man, brother. Awesome stuff, says Anthony. And there's us. So yeah, we have also got Papua New Guinea versus England as one of the games that are taking place later on. Portia Woodman's just enjoying the music that they're playing at the ground rather than the game. Fair enough. It's a decent song, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Was it just a note, Hamish? You don't pronounce the Z in Alice. Allure. Is it allure? Without the z. Like a B, isn't it? And can they beat England in the final, though, says Alex. It's going to be a tough one if they make it there. And when will we see this? When we win this, it'll be a remarkable turnaround from last year, says Dale. Yeah, they were beaten by England on English soil, now in New Zealand. And the kick has gone over. That will make the score now 25 points to 17 in favour of the Black Ferns. And also we have got there, I'm in Singapore at the moment listening to the Kiwi Lads broadcast as I can't get the live telecast, says Tony Lee. So we appreciate you being here, mate. Must be Singapore are a similar time zone to ourselves or a few hours behind?
Oh, I can't remember.
What is the time for yourself, Tony? Do let me know.
If he tells us, yeah.
And also that's better, says Sebastian and Heck here. Come on, CBA says, or KBA, I should say, from Mark there. So yeah, the next live stream that we have got, ladies and gentlemen, will be on the channel at 10:05 p.m. That will be a match of the sevens that has taken place, but that's going to be nicely claimed by New Zealand now. Another attack and run from the Kiwis. They are 35 metres out from their own line with the 8-point lead at the moment. They want to keep on making sure they apply that pressure and really take it to France while they're in a quiet patch. That's not the kick that they would have been after. Demand, though, almost was regathered by Stacey Flula. She gives away the penalty in the process. Shakir has gone on the field and also Spore 5 hours behind. And there says Tony Lee and Awesome Black Ferns, some more Odrat. And there says Stublet. And it's 4 in Singapore right now. It says 45. And thank you for posting out of the correct pronunciation of the letter Z or Z. Z for do it for me, says David. And Singapore has the same population as New Zealand, but is around the same size as the Waikato. That's crazy to think, isn't
it? I'm engrossed in the rugby.
Just nodding along, weren't you? You ever been to Singapore?
Yep.
Ah, there you go.
Overnight.
And French bringing on the subs. Jacquin now on. And 8 points. Geez, France going to need 2 tries to have a chance. And also, if New Zealand win the W, I'll win $750, says Kruger there. And it'll fit in Lake Taupo, says Johnny there as well. But now the line-out throw for France. Sitting 25 metres out from the Black Ferns line. 16 minutes left on the clock, so still plenty of time to see maybe a little bit of a late tail in the tape. It sounded like I was like flicking to the next page of a script. It was just I was checking who was off the bench for this matchup, and the rolling maul of France starting to march forward very nicely. Although now it is starting to march sideways. New Zealand doing well to defend it throughout this match. I do see that they have brought on Crystal Murray for the Kiwis. Great run forward, though, from the French number 19, which I believe is Ndaye. And you don't quite say it like that. I wouldn't think France close to the line. The skipper. In fact, no, it's not the skipper. It is their number 8 who scored her second of the match. Paris, same size as Otara. And also, what was New Zealand paying at the TAB? Anyone know? I know that New Zealand, after they scored that last try, were down to about $1.50 favourites. But France, now with that one, Menagier has been able to fire back a great attacking run from the replacement number 19. And also, Donna, considering I've been a loyal supporter of Hamish and his project, having done my best with the Spammers and Muppets, who do you support between England and Sri Lanka?
Oh, definitely England, because if England win, they knock Aussie out, don't they?
Oh, you're on the same wavelength as Sebastian. He'll like that answer very much. And also, why don't you ask for Dono's Kiwis? Not that I'm a donate, just asking why, says Simp Slayer. I guess it's one of those ones. I always feel because we're providing the free commentary, it always feels weird getting money, if that makes sense. Like anyone who donates, we always put it up on the screen and are hugely appreciative of it, but it just feels really weird asking for it. You know, at the end of the day, like I do this not for the money, but more because I just love doing it. I've got to pay her though, so anyone who wants to donate.
Funny. How much do I get?
Well, that depends on how much comes through, doesn't it?
Okay, come on, Black Ferns. Let's do this.
And Island newcomers to the T20 scene and already beating the big dogs. And music to my ears, says Sebastian. And yeah, I did the Singapore thing back in the day. Our place was an open sauna, says David there. And go on, France, says Roberto. 14 minutes left. Score sitting 24 points to 25. So the missed conversion from France, I should mention, was a very important moment in this game as New Zealand still have themselves the 1 point lead. Kick downfield by the French fly half. New Zealand waiting for it to sit up. Ferreira coming off the field. That is for Mayans as another sub for France. I believe they've almost emptied their bench now with 14 minutes left on the clock. New Zealand joining that breakdown well. Rule coming on the field now for the Kiwis, or coming off the field, I should say, and that is for Taumata, who has been the other replacements. And Menager has to be one of the players of the tournament. What a superstar. And dude, you're good at reading chat and commentating, says Unique. And there as well. It is sometimes a tricky one, depending on how quick the chat is going, of course. And sometimes people get offended when I do read the chat more than I talk about the game, but that falls almost into touch. Crystal Murray does well. Keep it in the field of play. A little bit of a wrestle here down the wing. But New Zealand just able to keep the ball in their position. Quick hands there. Nice offload up to Taumata. And also anyone's game. And we got a Hamish's mum. Says Sim Slayer, another good attacking run. The ball's been dropped, though, from the Black Ferns. Kick forward. It will be going back for the scrum, I would think, or they'd at least have the advantage here for France. At this point in time, now going for the little chip in behind. It goes into touch, and it will now be the line out for New Zealand. This is a nerve-wracking one, isn't it?
It is.
So both of you and your mum haven't been to the States. I have not.
I have.
You have? Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, you went to Disneyland, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to...
I'm going to Disneyland.
Well... On the way to the UK, we stayed in LA. Went to Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm. Had Coke for breakfast.
Of course, the drink. We should clarify.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah. And Black Ferns need to stay tough and play D, says Tony. And come on, France, says Sim Slayer. How much time is left? Only 10 minutes left on the clock. This is even closer than France or England versus Canada. And also, I reckon you have the voice to become a commentator for Sky Sports, says Loki. And also why 24-20 or 25-24 not converted try from France, right? That is correct. So they didn't quite get themselves that converted try that they were after. So still the 1 point down at this stage for Les Bleus. And also we have got their two amazing semi-finals. Exactly right. Both games have gone down to the wire, and I can't think of a better way of going into a final than two close semi-finals.
Yeah, exactly.
Carries 124 for New Zealand compared to 64 of the French. David has donated. So do you know how you put that up on the screen?
No.
Go with this. You click that one. Boom. There's David up there.
Thank you, David.
And here you go, Hamish. Thanks to you and your mum for the great commentary. Thank you very much, David. Hugely appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
And then when you want to take it down, you either click that one or you'll have an option up there saying hide comments, or pin comments or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still teaching her the way of the land,
No one's going to commentate with me and your dad doing it.
They might donate more, to be fair, when I'm not here. Some people will pay for you to do the match so that they don't have to hear me.
Really?
Probably. And Mrs. Hamish's mum, do you make a good shepherd's pie?
No.
No?
No.
She's crying. I'm feeling sad for her. I don't know what's happened. Maybe an injury.
It hurts.
And that $5 will get you a fish from the fish and chip shop in Makiki, says the Lim report there. And it should be 25-22. And there as well, says Ryan. And also who has the ball, says Henry. It is going to be the line out for New Zealand. Now Luca Connor once again will be throwing the ball. And I think Antarctica will win the Rugby World Cup, says Dylan.
Cool.
Maybe one day. Although I'm not sure how they go because they aren't actually a country, are they, Antarctica? They're a continent.
True.
And
good runs.
Big run forward. And tries not to bite nails, says non-moment support Amish and the team. Says Trio there down the wing now. It is Letienga once again with another good carry moving up to the 20. Moving up to halfway. Kendra Coxedge. Why is she trying to kick the ball so much?
Oh, they're obviously trying to get territory, but it might be time to sub.
Oh, she's actually, to be fair, they've got Baylor off the bench. I think she won't be too far off because Coxedge has made more mistakes than you can count on one hand, which is not ideal. 11 minutes left. I think there might be a sub being made that wins the Ice Blocks World Cup, and also they're a continent, but they have their own flag. Here it is, says Sebastian. And there's, I think they want to go upstairs and check the TMO for this one. So, hide current comment will be the button that you click. There you go. Look at that. Okay. It's like magic, isn't it?
Disappeared, David.
Gone but not forgotten. Okay, the TMO's just checking this one. I think they're checking for head-on-head contact. I mean, there's an arm wrap. She did catch her relatively high, though. So it may become a penalty in favour of the Black Ferns. It looks like shoulder on chin. It could be a yellow card as well. It's definitely big contact from Safi and Dayayi.
You pushed her out of the way, though.
Sometimes you got to use your face as your battering ram, don't you? And 1 point difference. It currently is, 25 points to 24 in this exciting one. And they win the Ice Blocks World Cup. And also I predicted this game being an easy win for New Zealand. My instincts were wrong, says Low Key. That's the thing. France have got a very good record. Like someone mentioned earlier on, the last 4 times these two sides have played, France have won every single one. Big shot. I think this is going to be a yellow card, everyone. Instinct, we're wrong, says Ed. Out the French from this contest, but they are still in it.
Did you?
No, I thought they were going to beat us.
Yeah.
Just quietly. But of course I didn't say that because I get destroyed. I just said it, so I'll get destroyed very soon. Is New Zealand going to score soon, says Henry? Depends on what happens here. They will have a penalty around the halfway line. It's just whether or not they're playing up against 14 French women or 15. They're just having a bit of a chat there. Yellow card for France, which means with 1 minute left on the clock, they will be back to 15 ladies out there. But until then, New Zealand have got themselves the advantage. Safi Ndaye has got herself the card. And I was like, New Zealand, bring it home, says Nate. And now with a perfect opportunity, it's actually right back near the 22 for New Zealand. Okay. Someone needs a ball. Who's got it? There it is. I think Kendra Cox said she's for me, very lucky to still be out there on the field. And I don't want to say nothing too bad, but I don't know if I would have her as my starting 9 for the final. Sounds brutal, but I don't think she's lit the world on fire for for this matchup.
You and your halfbacks.
Look, if they're not playing well, I'll tell you they're not playing well. 13 plus, please, is unique. They're going to have to work very hard for that. Now, I thought France would beat us as well, hoping I'm wrong, says Darth. And then also can't believe that GB beat the Blitzbox in the sevens. Yeah, it was a great game. And now South Africa's game later on tonight up against France actually determines whether or not they go through, which is pretty cool because that is the next game we are covering on the channel, 10:05 p.m., ladies and gentlemen. That was actually perfectly transitioned. Didn't even think of it beforehand. Nice throw for France because they've been able to steal that line out from the Kiwis. Maybe that's why Coxedge keeps on taking the quick taps because she doesn't trust Luca Connor or Georgia Ponsonby with the throws. Now France are in possession inside of their own half here. A nice attacking run from the loose head prop. Cycling nicely, going off to the right-hand side now. We'll have to make sure that the defense is solid, but with that one-woman advantage in the forward pack, like that's the thing. The fact that the number 5 went off, or the replacement number 5, and they still managed to win that line out just isn't a testament, is that the right word, to how good France's line out can be.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
Around the side here once again, trying to pierce through, will be the number 20, Maya, and she's in touch in New Zealand now. Coxedge considers taking it quickly, decides against it in the end. 480 watching, 57 likes, help Hamish and Mum. Content always 100 says, repent down France, men and women, is thriving. What exactly, when exactly the Empire start? I think it was in the last 5 years or so that both France's men's side and the women have gotten better. Okay. I think it was only a matter of time. Like the men have probably been a bit better than the women for a while for rankings-wise, just because they have had a lot more time, a lot more funding thrown in. That time it's taken, but it's loose. Luca Connor, though, has done well to keep that one true, Gavin. But all three nations are quite poor at sevens, in all fairness, says Sebastian. And there as well. Now the ball available. Coxedge goes off to the left-hand side. Still looking around, scouting. Big bump off there from Portia Woodman. Offload over the top from Ruby Tui. Lau Litienga down the wing. Trying to step nicely. Still driving forward. Moves up to 40 metres out from the Black Ferns line. Still with a woman advantage for another 7.5 minutes. They have to make the most of it here. Coxedge goes across. If New Zealand get a converted try, they will be in the lead a little bit more. Coxedge now able to take that one. It was a rough pass, though. Now Rose gets the legs driving. New Zealand moving into the territory of the French. They're kicking behind from Demant. Went with the chip, and it hasn't worked out. Serahini unable to take it, and the French fullback cleans up. Penalty goes the way of New Zealand. That is what you call very lucky. Coxedge now taking the quick tap, trying to break through, gives it off to Teresa Fitzpatrick, holds on to it. Hirini now goes around the side of the breakdown. A pick and go from the Kiwis, taken back by France, the big number 18, Calafoye. I don't know if that's how you say it. It's kind of close. Calafoye. She had it. She was well done. She did well.
She did.
What I should say. Nicely taken by Inga. Finds the offload now to Ruby Tui. Down the wing. Great low tackle made again by someone who's definitely going to have a chance at woman of the match for the way that she's played. The French number 8 penalty now goes the way of France. And also how much time left, Damage since over the mod. There are only another 7 minutes left in this game. I believe they're called the Wheel Blacks. Says Maisel there. Now New Zealand, I don't think they're too happy with that penalty. But Leti Ainga has done beautifully to get that offload to Ruby Tui. But this was a textbook tackle. Round the waist, sliding down onto the knees. Another very well done one by, it was a Romain Menager. I believe. I say it wrong each time. They're going to be a long 7 minutes. Yeah, it's certainly close. How much time left? There's still a good chance France can snatch it at the end. There certainly is, but still 7 minutes left on the clock. Another sub being made for the Kiwis. It will be Chelsea Bremner going off. I believe. Who is it going to be? Is it going to be Nunwu or Kennedy Simon? It is Nunwu who makes her way out onto the park for New Zealand. Very tight match, isn't it? It certainly is going to be a one that goes right down to the wire. Both sides have put absolutely everything into it. I think Coxedge may have been off the field as well from the looks of that background play. Yeah, captain for France, though, getting a little bit of attention to the nostril. Well, where's your gut feeling at the moment? Is it New Zealand or France that you think is going to take it?
Oh, I just hope New Zealand do. I'm just so nervous for them.
You hope, but is that gut feeling New Zealand take it? Ooh. Ooh. And my mate says, Jacob, welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing well. Fire up the Black Ferns. Says Nate there as well. So now the line-out throw for France. They have still got their starting hooker on the field at the moment, which is Agathe Souchet, whose name I still can't say without it sounding like I'm calling her a bad player.
Mm-hmm.
Now throws it in for France, almost stolen from New Zealand, but the French able to claim it, now going for their rolling maul. 6 minutes left on the clock between the two sides. A yellow card for the French at the moment. They've got the advantage. Now going off to the short side, not a lot of space at all. Oh, was that a bit of a hair pull there from Kendra Cox?
Yeah, it should have been.
Gotta be a little bit careful. I'm not too sure why Letty is so fired up. Did she realize there was a penalty against New Zealand? And also, she was fired up because someone made a tackle she should have made, because she should have been out on her wing rather than standing doing nothing. Brutal. But, you know, trash talk's one thing, but when you've trash talked when you haven't really proven yourself in this game, it's another one. Now, Souchet is going to be throwing this one once again. The crowd are trying to get in behind the Kiwis here, but thrown in nicely, taken by France. The rolling maul does begin. 5.5 minutes left. I have short fingers, says Nate there. And also, come on, one more try, says Gordon. Is that one more try for New Zealand or one more try for France, Gordon? Do let me know. New Zealand will definitely take it. I believe in the Black Ferns, says Anna. Now, New Zealand, they are going to have to defend here. Another great run from the French number 9. She has been very good throughout this matchup as well. Drop goal to win it. Let's go, France, says Loki. Tell you what, it's a chance. At the moment, with the amount of time left, still 5 minutes on the clock, Hirni unable to get the turnover. And let's go the Kiwis, says Anthony. 5 back across. France attacking up the middle of the park. 35 metres from the line now. Off short side. Once again, great tackle made there from Hirni on her opposite number. And the penalty goes the way of New Zealand. And from Alice Springs. And then the penalty, says Obi in there as well. Yeah, another penalty going in favour of the Kiwis. I believe it was Escudero who did end up giving away the penalty. I have to check the names just to make sure I'm going to pronounce them correctly, and then I still pronounce them wrong. New Zealand now with the mark. Going to be kicking this one into touch, and one more try for the Kiwis. Says R45, and let's go France. And OMG, I've just ran out of alcohol, says David. So you are going to definitely need to stock up before the All Blacks game at 4:15 a.m. against Wales. Drink responsibly, I should say. Of course, and take the 3 and force the French try, says Sebastian. It's a good tactic. That one almost didn't find touch, but a great kick downfield from Demand. So, yeah, the Kiwis can look at this two ways. You either go for the 3 if you get the penalty out in front, which they weren't actually for that one. They were about 60 metres out. But you either go for the 3, make it so French have to score, or you go for all guns blazing, try and get yourself that final try that would secure the game. But then the thing is, if you miss the conversion, you're still within 7. So either way, France need to score the try. And also, we're going to hold the ball, girls. Yeah. And also, how far are we from the try line? Currently around the halfway line here for the Kiwis. And New Zealand try in the corner. Says Gordon down Uber Eats, deliver alcohol, start ordering before bottle shops close, says Low Key. It sounds like a man who's had a bit of experience in that department right there. Stolen almost by the French, but New Zealand still have it on the halfway line. Now attacking run forward, sitting 45 metres out from France's try line. Going short side. Crystal Murray, one of the standouts of Super Rugby Aupiki for the Blues. Almost over the ball there. That's going to be a French turnover. Yes, it is. And it's taken nicely. Now looking for their backline movement here for France. If they score now, it will be heartbreaking for the Black Ferns. But if they can get the ball back, maybe there's a chance at the other end. Nice one. Another tackle made. Letienga tries to get in the breakdown. Unable to get the turnover. Now back across for the French. Good tackle made by with Ruiz, who's had to play for the full 80 minutes almost in this contest. Now another offload from France, looking to use it wide. And it's beautifully shifted through the hands. Now number 11 tackled by, I believe it was Portia Woodman. Had to make the tackle there. New Zealand still fighting for the ball in the breakdown, unable to get it there. Now Bourdon goes short side, or long side, in fact it is. Another big tackle driven backwards for France, still inside of their own half with 2 minutes left on the clock. Now a pass wide. Beautiful stuff from France. Great handling. Letienga caught off her wing, but Stacey Flula covers. It does make the tackle there off her hands. Off her feet, I should say. So could have ended up with the penalty if she had tried to contest. Bourdon once again goes across. Big shot there in the middle of the park. Believe that was possibly Taumata who made the big hit there. And the French lady has not moved. Oh no, now she's getting up. I think she just had to make sure she still had all of her organs inside of her body. Ball on the outside. A 2-on-1. France cutting up the middle. Hirni makes a brilliant tackle and it had to be made for them. New Zealand fight for the ball back. It's on the ground and I believe it's on the side of the Kiwis. 1.5 minutes left. New Zealand going across to the left-hand side. Looking to use phase after phase. Great run forward from Nan Wu. Moving up to almost the 22. Crystal Murray has gone for the kick downfield. Now, the thing is, that was taken back. And I believe they need to have a look at that because New Zealand were outside of the 22. Then Crystal Murray kicked it out on the full. They have just worked it out and they will be going back to the 22 now. I saw it straight away. It was run forward by Nan Wu. She made too many meters for the Kiwis. They just want to check this one. But yeah, Nan Wu ran it out of the 22, taken back. Crystal Murray, the loose head prop, decided she wanted to kick it for touch. And it may be the last thing New Zealand get to do on attack in this game now. And with this one going out, I believe they will still have just a few more seconds of the France yellow card. Oh, I think they're checking. Actually, they're TMOing this tackle instead. And Brain Fade says Sebastian and play on. Ref says Jobo. And also, this is so stressful. Go the Ferns says Claire. Oh, big shot there from Taumata. Although, was it a shoulder to the head? Are you just saying that? I think that's a shoulder to the head. This could be a kickable 3 for France. It could be kickable. That's a 3, says Jobo. And if New Zealand wins, they will definitely lose against England, says Low Keen. And also, damn, France says Simslayer. France plus France equals rugby equals France, says Roberto. And there as well. And RK Amish, who's got the possession. By the looks of it, it is going to be in the middle of the field. A penalty to France from about 25 to 30 meters out. Big shot from Taumata, but it wasn't a legal one. So Santa Taumata might be going to the bin for 10 minutes. It's not really going to change in terms of how many players they're going to have on the field. It's from about 35 out from the line.
Not too far forward. It's back there.
And it is Le Bleu. And go France, says the rugby guru in there as well. Hoping that New Zealand get knocked out in the quarterfinals and probably to the Ferns. And there says Mike and Ricardo reckon says Jobo. Yeah, it's at least going to be a yellow. It is a yellow card for Taumata here. She will be going off the field. And now with 1 minute left on the clock, France will be looking to convert this one. But I think they're too far out. I don't think they've got the kicking distance. I mentioned about Jamanier earlier on in the men's game, how he can slot them over from 50 meters. They need a long kicker like that, but I don't think they've got it here. Taumata will be going off the field now. The reserve prop off for 10 minutes. Both sides playing with 14 now for the remaining moments of this contest, which is only 1 minute on the clock here. They are just going to be finding whereabouts the mark was. And that Cox Edge tapping and running the ball all the time, even in front of the post, says Cooper. I was just making sure the referee knows exactly where the penalty was. But further back.
Saw the line.
A bit nervous. And Jamanier with a wig. And how far out is it? About 35 meters. So I would say the distance might be a little bit too much. Why kick from that far out? Says David the Mod there. It's going to be a risky one if they do decide to take it. And she got the legs, bro, says Anthony. So yeah, they are just checking it. It's actually going to be about 32 meters out from the line. And the penalty goes the way of France. Oh no, says Paul there. And go the Ferns, KFC France, says Elvis. And now they are kicking for the post from 35 meters out. This could give the lead to France at this point of the match. And that's a big kick, says Mike, and just got home from work. Hello to you too. How are we doing? We're doing very well, although I think one of us is doing better than the other at the moment. 32 is manageable, says Westside, and Miss says Unlocked. So the kick. There is still time left on the clock. I believe she can't use up all of the remaining time because the kick or the time was back on from 79 or 78 minutes 59. So she's going to take her time here to make sure she can line up this kick, but she will not use all of the remaining time. She will strike the ball, and it's missed out to the left-hand side. Hasn't got the distance either in New Zealand now with 18 seconds left on the clock. Will just run the ball forward. France in the breakdown, though, trying to get the turnover. New Zealand committing about 7 women to the breakdown. And now they just need to close it out. 9 seconds left. This is about to be heartbreak for Les Bleus unless they get this counter ruck. Cox Edge has to go digging for it. Big run forward from Bremner. And now New Zealand, all they need to do is kick that ball into touch. New Zealand go through to the final. They will be taking on England. And 25 points to 24 will be how this match ends.
What a game. Have they got another big game in them next week?
That's the big question. I mean, you'd have to say, though, England have also used up quite a bit of their gas tank in their game up against Canada, but it's heartbreak for Le Bleu. The missed kick at the end. And New Zealand narrowly, and I mean narrowly, make their way through to the final next week where they will be taking on the English. What a game of rugby we have just witnessed. About as close as any game we will see over the weekend, I would think.
That's huge.
Your eyes are almost tearing up, Mumsy. I think you almost blew a gasket at the end of that one. Congrats, New Zealand. Says Brassard there. And also we have got there, what a relief, says Claire, and felt so sorry for the French kicker. Yeah, what a game. Going right down to the end, good playing. And great game, says Erwin, and also fast, says Nate, and tense, says Dallin.
Very.
And also Tomato owes that French kicker a big Christmas hamper, says the Lim report, and Kakite France later, bro, says Die there. And also, New Zealand, says Elvis. But this game, I don't think it could have been any closer. New Zealand earlier on in the game, they ended up missing a kick also, didn't they?
They did.
It was out to the right-hand side. Not quite as much pressure on the kick, though, as there was for Drouin for that one. It missed away to the left-hand side, but also I don't think it had the distance.
No.
And how close was the kick? I don't have a TV, says Jay Reverie. So it was out to the left-hand side, probably missing by about 3 or 4 meters and also dropping maybe a meter or two short of the posts. And your mum is priceless, says Brad. And as well, she certainly is.
Oh.
And also we have got their credit to Le Bleu. Great result for the Ferns. Yeah. And also well done, French girls, to Mickey Black Ferns. And thanks, Billy. Thanks, Black Ferns. And also we have got their coverage. And there, as I says, the Lion the King. Right, I don't speak French, but I hope that is thank you for the coverage. And I'll see you in the final, maybe. And great to see your mum loving it with your mate. Wishes from Singapore, says Angelo. And thank you for the coverage. And also, mean enjoy, bro. Mean, bro, enjoy your evening, says Anthony there. And yeah, we have got plenty more coming up tonight. We've got more sevens. My mum and my dad will be covering the Welsh versus All Blacks game for the first half while I am doing the commentary for the other matchup taking place, which is Papua New Guinea versus England in the Rugby League World Cup. And foul play by men, ladies, a disgrace. France were robbed. 2011, a lover again. Hope the ref enjoys the payout. Just played plain wrong, says Shane. And there as well, I assume that there would be some people questioning the refereeing in this game. I feel like we get that no matter what happens in the contest. Great commentary, says Loki, and also Kiwi Fiji brother, says Anthony, and your Kiwi mum supporter. Oh, sorry, your mum a Kiwi supporter. Mercy for their coverage, says Maxime, and thank you very much for watching you streaming New Zealand versus Wales. We certainly are. And also we're in the final. Let's go. And Ranch should have got a Rugby World Cup in 2011 final, mate. And O'Shane stopped being no. Also, we've got that eye gouge on Richie. Says G Raccoon, and damn, I need a coffee. Comeback, missed the final. We run, Hamish. They did indeed win the Black Ferns, but they had to work extremely hard for it. And also, we've got their France were robbed. Admit it, says Shane. I mean, you could say, depending on how you look at it, if she got that last kick, they won this game. Plain and simple. She got the kick. You should be blaming her left boot or her right boot rather than blaming the referee for this contest. They had the opportunity. Kick it for the 3, win the game by 2 points, head through to the final to play up against England. So there were moments in this game for both sides you'd have to argue that could have won them the contest. They just weren't able to take it. And what time Papua New Guinea, England, bro, you're doing that game? We certainly are. 3:20 a.m. is when we are going to be starting that one. And also watching from Toronto, Canada at 4:29 a.m. And very unfortunate for Canada to miss out on the final because they were very close up against the English in their game. And say hi to Ormiston Primary School. Says Stone Cold, they lost fair and square, take it on the chin, and demand Black Ferns captain is bad, says Jobo, and congratulations to the Black Ferns, says Clayton in the chat as well. But yeah, very close game.
Very
close
exciting
indeed.
Stuff.
Who would you give the player of the match to? I was going to say the number 8, Romain Menager, if France had won. But because New Zealand won, I feel like you got to look through at a few of those players. I mean, Ruby Tui was still solid throughout the match, and disposable France were robbed. Obvious cheap shots for 80 minutes, just playing wrong. We'll get the last 3-pointer, and then you win. Simple. It's plain and simple. It's Basic maths. 25-24. There's only 2 points that they would have been up by if they had won this game with the penalty. That would have been enough to win it.
Yeah.
Kick the 3. That's all you got to do. And also, what an effort game. And also, up to Black Ferns says that sweet as, and also we get the Black Ferns hopefully a raise, or hopefully to raise that trophy once again. And well done. That's 2 great games from 4 great women's teams, says Socks. Exactly right. Anyone who tries to say that women's rugby is not entertaining, because we have had those comments on the live streams, of course. But when you see that, how can you not be entertained? It was edge of the seat stuff. Tears in the eyes of one of the commentators and bloody fireworks outside to serve him a piece. Says like, yeah, play the match, the water boy, says Chris K. And there were quite a few injuries throughout this game, weren't there, for both sides? And hopefully both sides will be relatively close to 100% by the time they get to the final next week, where it will be England versus New Zealand. But nonetheless, I think that's almost going to be the end of this coverage. We do thank you all very much for tuning in. French number 10 has a terrible boot, says Keith. And the French going to kick that goal under pressure. Well, only world champions can do that in France. We're robbed. Hope they get smashed in the final. Disgraceful. Kick the 3 points. You win the game. Simple. Maths, isn't it? 1 point down. Kick a 3. Easy peasy. You win the game. That's the best thing to describe it as. Like, you can say teams were robbed and whatnot. If they weren't given that penalty, if they weren't given the yellow card for that final one, you might have a point. But they were. They were given the penalty. They had the shot. They had the chance to win the game. They blew it. Just, it's what it is, isn't it?
Yes,
it's rugby. People miss kicks and they lose games.
Pressure kicks,
And Fridge have always been crybabies. I mean, overall, from what we've seen today, a lot of the French supporters have been behind their side. They've been respectful in the defeat. And also, I think New Zealand overall, I hope they will be respectful in the victory as well. It is one of those games that, like, people are going to remember it for a long time, I would think. And I hope the final is on the scale of intenseness. You know, a close matchup. And good point, says David. And also, we have got that thanks, France, says King Kong Kong in there as well. And also, we have got quarter points, second point. It doesn't matter. Like I said, a win's a win. And one of the best games of any sport I've seen in a while, though. Well done to all the ladies. Exactly right. Close game, going down to the wire. Anyone could have won it at any stage of this match.
Oh, I was nervous from about 20 minutes to go.
It was exciting, wasn't it?
It was a good game. Nerve-wracking. I don't know if I can watch another one.
Well, you got All Blacks versus Wales later on tonight.
Oh, yeah, but that won't be like that.
No. And if it is, I feel like
I'm not watching it.
You will probably end up losing about 1.5 kg from the heart rate being up. It's the best thing about these live streams. You don't have to go for runs. You just watch a game of rugby. And it's all good. And also we have got there France robbed at the World Cup in New Zealand. Again, cheap shots for 80 minutes. How much was the ref paid? Probably the same as normal, I would assume, Shane. But I can see that, I guess, reasoning isn't your forte. So we won't go too in depth with it. Another F referee, says Felipe. And there as well, I guess you could argue, could it have been a red card at the end of the game that they still had the kick to try and win the game off that they missed? Maybe could have been a red card rather than the yellow. A lot of people arguing that tackle on Ruby Tui could have been a yellow card rather than just as a penalty. There were things that went against both sides in this contest. Mate, a jack up, says Shane. And there as well, Well, it is what it is, unfortunately. It's one of those ones that you can't change it, like my mum's just said. The result went the way it did. France had their chance to win the game. They missed the kick. They will regret that. I feel bad for their number 10 because she will feel like the whole weight of that game was on her shoulders. She won't be blaming the referee for giving her the last-minute penalty.
No,
She'll be blaming her right boot for not going over. And also, we'll get how many times France denied getting into finals in there as well, says David. And also, we're about to beat the Wallabies today, says Maxime. And both yellow cards are red in the men's game. The women's rugby refs are just ruthless, says Lax Axel. And there as well. They like big hits. Way to describe it, isn't it? But nonetheless, we do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I assume you're going to be back for the final next week, are you?
Well, every game I've watched, they've won.
That's true.
Yep.
Alrighty. I guess we will see my mum back next week as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'm actually going to let you end this live stream, even though you won't actually have to for the All Blacks versus Wales, but pretty much how you would do it. You go up there,
and press that.
Click that one, and then you would click this one as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and we will see you all for the sevens taking place in only 30 minutes time.